see. They may be back here. They stay.
I already can't. Is that Yildiz?
Now that is Tatlum, the boy.
Oh, okay. So this is her.
And Yildiz, the girl. She's a very, very big girl.
Oh my gosh.
She's almost. Oh yeah. Aren't they cute?
Yes.
Hello, puppies.
So cute. How many do you have?
There's 6. And that's a girl.
They're swapped.
Look at that fancy face she has. It's so pretty with the little lacing of black on her ears and on the end of her nose.
Hello. Oh, hi. Hi. Wow.
And you saw how good he was with the puppy.
Yeah.
He just laid there. That's what he kind of learned.
God, dog.
Yeah. Overwhelmed by dogs.
I see all of you. She's like, I can't compete with all that.
I fed them real early, so I was thinking they might be hungry because I usually try to feed them 3 times a day. But their mom feeds them so much milk.
Yeah.
They just, by the 3rd feeding, I can hardly get them to eat anything. Let's see if more of them are over here. They've been switching. I don't know why they always do learn to come under here and then go back there, and eventually they'll just be under here.
Hi guys. Welcome to the farm. We're eating puppies.
Let's see if they're in. They usually are, but
This is Eric.
there's a puppy.
Oh.
Whoops, a rock. Hello, baby. Hello. That's a boy.
That's so cute. Do they all have names already? Or
No, because I'm letting the people name them. Even mine. I'm not 100% sure. I'm picking a boy. There's another one back there, but I'm picking a boy. But the problem is the quality of this litter is so high, I can't decide.
Oh my gosh, Colton, there's something.
And sometimes they're exceptional puppies.
Yeah.
And there is a girl I really like, but they're all exceptional, every single puppy.
How can you tell at this age?
It's hard,
Yeah.
but I do look for angulation, and
You
also
can see that already?
the face. I look for head structure. I know that's really superficial, but you know, a dog with a pretty head is pretty. So,
Like Tatlum's head?
yes.
Like this
Ye-
boxy
yes,
heads?
Yes. Well, and if you notice, it's similar, but the black makes it look different. Similar to Yenis. Remember Yenis?
Yes.
His head?
Yeah, I had a really pretty
It's.
head.
Don't you think it's pretty similar?
Yeah.
I mean,
Actually, I need to look at him again. Hi.
he decided to go lay down. I call him the fancy boy, and then there were some kids over here, and they said, "Why do you call him the fancy boy?" And I go, I had to say something to differentiate him, and he has a black spot on his tail, and I said, "Oh, that's fancy," so I just call him the fancy boy.
Hi.
So that's how I tell him.
Yeah.
And there are 2 girls, there are 3 girls in the litter, but 2 of them have the little white stripes on their nose. See that little white, very narrow white stripe? Yeah. So it's easy to spot the 2 girls that have the white stripe.
Whoa.
Do you think I underfeed them?
They're looking good.
I always worry I overfeed them. Well, between me and their mother, they get a lot of food.
How are they doing with the ducks and goats and stuff?
I haven't let the ducks out, but okay, so I have 9 Nubians in here with them and a llama. And actually, like this morning when I came to feed them, so they all run over there while I'm getting the other food, and they wait at the storage building, and then the goats know, okay, next come over here to eat. So the goats go along, and then the dogs follow the goats, and then I follow everybody. It's so cute. I need to take a video of that.
Her feet are huge.
Yes.
Who is the dad again?
So the dad is Yenis's brother, Ghazi, that's in Virginia.
Okay.
But
so,
I didn't, and the mother, actually the mother is the real famous genetics. Her father was Yazi. He was the #1 Anatolian in the nation for 3 years in a row. We quit showing him and started showing her half-brother, his son, and he was the #1 for the next 4 years in a row. So The #1 dog in the nation, Anatolian, for 7 years was my genetics. And then she has another half sister, Kizzy. Remember, she was from artificial insemination. So these are all dead a long time ago. I mean, Kizzy was born like in 2003 or 4 or something like that. But anyway, she was the #1 female, #2 female Anatolian in the nation the year I showed her. And I just took her to a few shows. It's just she won everything every time I took her. So she got a lot of points, and that's how she got to be #2.
Cool.
And she lived 14 years and had 14 puppies every time she had puppies.
14.
And then, yes, both times she had puppies. And then Bethany, another half sister.
I haven't heard of Bethany.
Well, I can't believe it. I love Bethany. She's one of my favorite all-time dogs.
I don't think I've heard you say that name.
Like all of them are, of course, but
I'm gonna bother this
yeah.
puppy.
Well, she had 2 litters. I took her to a show on 2 weekends, and she got her championship beating champion special males. And then I never took her to another show. And then I bred her to Case, the real original Case, 2 times. And she had 10 and then 9 puppies. And out of those, 11 were shown, and all 11 got their championship.
Wow.
She is the only Anatolian in the breed ever to be given a dam of distinction by AKC, because you have to have at least 10 champions.
I can't believe I've never heard you talk about it. That's crazy.
I know. I can't.
Or maybe
believe
you have, and I've forgotten.
I maybe just.
I bet I've forgotten.
Slid over her name or something, but yeah, because she's one of my most important dogs. So we'll get another puppy out if I can. Do you want to come out? Here, boy.
Chat, this is my neighbor's farm. If you weren't caught up, sorry.
Come on.
I haven't talked to you at all.
Come on, babies.
This is my neighbor's farm. He raises these dogs. They're
Here,
Anatolian
baby.
shepherds.
There you go.
As
There you
livestock
go,
guardian
sweetie.
dogs. And
There
he's
you
got
go.
goats and ducks and stuff because he trains them to be good with livestock and then sells them to people to protect their herds and stuff. Is that a boy?
Yes, this is another boy. And I really, my problem is I'd like to keep all of them. I think they're all so good, but you can't do that.
How many are you keeping?
I'm just
One?
keeping one.
One boy.
But like I did here, I'm going to keep a boy for me, and then the girl is going to go to Kelly because she helped me take the dog to Houston, have her artificially inseminated. and all
Yildiz?
that
Yes. Which ones are you keeping from? Are you keeping Yildiz?
Oh,
and
well, I am
Papa?
keeping Yildiz, and then because Kelly helped me with this litter, she gets Tatlum.
Okay.
So Tatlum's already hers.
Okay.
She is going to retire soon and move to Oklahoma, and they have some land up there.
Oh, cool.
And but right now she lives in Houston.
Yeah.
And she has Tatlum's dad, and you can't keep 2 male Anatolians in the same area without expecting injuries.
Right.
So I said, let me raise him as a working dog, and then when you go to Oklahoma, or if something happens to Toop, because he's old, then you can have Tatlum, and you'll have, a dog that really can be great with animals and stuff. And and see how good he is with the puppies.
Yeah.
Except that's her. That's Yildiz.
Oh, is it? I thought I was looking at Yildiz.
She can be good with puppies. It's just sometimes if they get too enticing, she wants to play with them. I get that. I feel the same way. Look how big and wide his muzzle is.
Yeah, he definitely looks different than she does.
Yeah, she has a big wide muzzle. And the other boy is kind of gray all over.
So the live stream is on, so if people are listening, can you tell them about the breed? And what
Okay,
they're for?
so they originated in Turkey. They're a land race in Turkey. And a land race means that they haven't been bred like English dogs where you select for certain looks. They have been completely selected for ability. And they do look quite a bit alike across Turkey because the ability to have those abilities, you have to have a certain body type and stuff. And the ability is to protect their livestock, the sheep and goats, And in Turkey, they have been a landrace breed, so to speak, for like 7,000 years. There are rock carvings of them with sheep and goats. Like the oldest one I know of, I think, is 4,000 years old. So they have been around a long time, and they went through a very heavy selection process because they can't feed their kids and a dog that's not doing its job. So they have to get rid of them, and they don't find a new home for them.
Right.
And the other thing is they had wolf packs, they had actual lions that had migrated up from Africa into Turkey that developed a slightly different body style, so they're faster. They're still big and powerful lions, but they have a faster, quicker, more athletic body. And they had to take on those predators. And the mom of these puppies, her father, Yazi, that was the #1 for 3 years in a row, when he was 7 months old, I had a mountain lion come onto my property in the pasture, the big pasture, and I also had Case, the one I talked about. He was a 1.5 years old, and he had 2 siblings and his mom, and that's all. A 4-year-old female, 3 1.5-year-old puppies, and a 7-month-old puppy. And it was a huge male mountain lion. And it wanted my goats, and they said no. And they wound up killing it. And that's pretty impressive for a bunch of puppies.
That's wild.
Yeah, that they lived. I mean,
oh my gosh, this little girl is funny. She's got a lot of personality.
Yeah. Well, usually they all are more that way. I guess I just fed them so much.
I think they're probably, I think they're under.
And then, and it's warm.
What's she doing?
It's so warm for them because they've been used to the real cold weather.
Whoop.
Anyway, I don't know how anybody lives in the country without owning an Anatolian, and they have livestock, because I can have poultry, I can have sheep and goats, and they're all protected and safe by the dogs.
Yeah.
But they have to be bred properly.
Yeah.
Even among Anatolians, if you don't breed them right.
Do you want to come film with the stick?
She is rather cute.
And how long have you been breeding them?
I got my first Anatolian in 1985.
1985.
So 40 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And all by himself, he kept off a whole bunch of coyotes off of my sheep and goats. And he was a very small male. He only weighed about 115 pounds. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure she that you have right there weighs more than that already, and she's 9 months old. So.
Yeah.
But her father was particularly large. Yeah.
Her.
Hey.
And yeah. Hello there, Yildiz.
Her father was Yanis's brother. Correct?
Let's think. Yes, that's exactly. No, not
her
father was.
Brother.
Her father was out of a kind of a different line I have.
Uh-huh.
And her grandfather was the #1 Anatolian in the nation in 2015.
Ah.
He had been raised on somebody's farm for like 4 years, not ever socialized or anything. And we got him back, and my breeding partner in Virginia loves to show. She took him to shows, and she got his championship almost immediately, and then he started winning everything, which is quite an accomplishment about how how stable his mind is.
Yeah.
Because if you could take a dog that was just she didn't
Just
even take him to the vet.
Yeah.
When the vet came to do the other animals, that's when he got his shots.
Right.
So most Anatolians, it is really freaky for them to go from the pasture to the show ring.
Yeah.
And it requires huge mental stability. And to be honest, that's one of the best things to me about going to a show. It wasn't proving my dogs had good conformation. It was seeing which dogs had the greatest mental stability to me come out, take them out away from their goats, take them to a show, and then bring them home. So
Yeah.
I think it paid off.
Nice. Very cool.
Well, I'm sorry they're so inactive.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's
Earlier today, they were going crazy.
I'm glad Ducat is getting along with all of them.
You know,
staying in too.
She had to be good like this or I wouldn't want it to breed her.
Yeah.
If she couldn't be good with even another female's little puppies, because she is related to them,
Yeah.
then that isn't a dog suitable for breeding. And
Oh, I didn't see that one in there.
This one over here is sleeping. He's twitching.
Oh.
oh, so we have 3 of them over here?
Yeah, I didn't realize.
Oh. They're pretty independent, and unlike a lot of puppies that always want to stay with the puppy group at this age, they don't mind being with the puppy group, but they also don't mind going off by themselves.
Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah.
Drama.
And you want that in an Anatolian, that independent nature. You also like him to be a bit suspicious and not certain when things are different. These may be a little bit more on the friendly side. Oh, he's decided to really go get out.
So you have 2 girls and 4 boys?
I have 3 girls and 3 boys.
3 girls and 3 boys.
Yes, here comes
Hi.
a blockage.
Hello. I'd like to see. I saw her when I came in, Tavir, but I haven't really said hi to her.
Tavir, where'd you go?
That's their mom.
Tavir! Let's see if I can call them over here. Puppies! Puppies! Puppies!
He's talking to you.
Come on, puppies! Come on! Puppies!
These 3 got up when you called.
Yeah, those are probably going, hey, it's comfy and cool under this building.
Wow.
Well, at least they're out. Yeah.
Sorry,
They go,
here I
oh, nothing, so I'll just lay down.
Oh, they're so cute.
So these are 2 girls,
Yeah.
and that's a boy over there. Yeah, and you know they're girls because of the white stripe on their nose. I mean, the white stripe doesn't mean girl, it's just these 2 girls have it. Yes. And one of these is going to go to Ohio, and the other one is going to go to Oklahoma, I think.
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, she's so cute. She has such a cute face.
I know.
What on earth?
I know. She
Don't
is
look at me.
really pretty.
A stick. For you.
And they all are probably going to have really good conformation. Oh, puppy, come here. Come on.
Oh, there's one coming out.
Puppy. Come on here. Here's some food. Looky here. Crunchy food. They go, but usually you put warm water on it.
Oh my gosh. That is so funny.
No, this isn't your food. Yeah, puppy. You can see how starving they are.
That's a good thing.
Hey there, Tavir. I mean, Tatlum.
Girl.
Hi, Tatlum.
Hello. Wow.
Yeah, I tell you, this morning they ate almost a full can of this. That's probably the problem. But their mom, that particular line, any of the females I have out of Yazzie, they always have been very heavy milk producers, which means I don't have to feed them as much puppy food.
That is nice.
Yeah, it is. And I actually think all that milk is really good for them.
Yeah. Someone asked what breed they are. They're Anatolian Shepherds.
Yes.
Anatolian Shepherds.
Yes.
Likes the camera.
Hey.
Cute. What are you doing?
And one of the things I really like about them, if they've been bred correctly, they use their judgment. I mean, you can't really train them like you do a Doberman to do stuff because they don't do training. They do I think it through like a person does.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've raised them well, they'll actually make good decisions. And
Yeah, because I'm scratching him.
And an example of not needing to teach them, I think I told you one other time, but do you want me to tell you the story about Koss coming out of the building and knocking that guy down?
Yes, I love that one.
So she was an 8-month-old puppy, a month younger than these puppies, and I had some people working on this road, and they were going to put up the fence. And so I had to take this guy down and show him where the field fence stretcher was, which is basically like a 2x4. And so he picked it up and slung it over his shoulder like a baseball bat and started following me up the hill. And when she saw that, that was too much. She already was suspicious of him anyway, but she decided that he was going to hit me over the head with it.
Yeah.
And she ran, and as she went by him, here's what I like about him. She didn't bite him. She thought he was a problem to me, but she didn't bite him. She took her chest and kind of clipped his knee as she went by, making him fall down on his knees, and he threw the 2x4 down in front of him,
Yeah.
so that was no longer a threat. She continued and whirled around in front of me, and then she started doing these growl barks, snarling, leaping, and then she'd moonwalk back, and every time, and I like this, and they all tend to do this, she was protecting me, so she wanted to know where I was. So she'd come back until she felt her body touch me, and then she'd go, okay, he's there. And then she'd go forward and then moonwalk back. And go. And all I had to do, I mean, the guy was terrified.
Oh.
You know?
I wouldn't want any of these coming at me except for these
except
ones.
baby those. But so he stayed in place, and all I did is I just leaned down and patted her on the rump and said, Koss, it's okay, it's fine. Because a lot of people don't understand with these dogs, they'd go, cut that out.
Right. It makes it
Well,
worse.
all the dog hears is, oh, you think that person is as bad as I do.
So this is serious.
And it makes them worse. So you
Yeah.
have to be calm and control yourself.
Yeah.
And so I was saying, it's okay. And I baby talk, and I know you know all that stuff. And anyway, and she quit barking, and she looked at me like, but he was going to hit you on the head.
Yeah.
And so, but after that, everybody was extremely, extremely careful and very, very respectful to me.
Yeah. No, that is, oh my gosh, they're so cute. They're so cute. Wow. Have you ever had experience with Rottweilers?
No, not directly.
I was close to acquiring a Rottweiler puppy. I didn't tell you that. But I decided against it.
I would decide against it.
Really? I'm glad. I should have asked you, but I already had decided, so it's not an issue.
I have a friend that years ago, she had these really wonderful Rottweilers. But then I like how the Anatolians act.
Yeah.
And so the Rottweilers, as they got older, hers got more, I don't like you, I don't know you. And then
Interesting.
she had less control over them.
I think that's my fear, is just with such a big dog, there's
Yeah.
just not much I can do, you know?
And what I love about this breed is, if they're bred correctly, I always have to add that, but if they're bred correctly, they've been bred to do the least amount of aggression to get the job done.
They're doing a lot of damage over there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I wish they were earlier yesterday. They had all decided to play,
Yeah.
and they were playing with each other. And then you know how little kids do? They said, "Well, that was too hard." And then they all got mad at each other. And they were all jumping and growling, and then they all kind of backed off and walked away. It all lasted only about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
But I was videoing it, and it was so cute. I'm so glad I got it. But,
It's good learning.
well, and I actually sent it to a couple of people to show them why it's very important that puppies be with other puppies and dogs,
Yeah.
so they learn socialization with dogs and correct behaviors and stuff like that.
And for them, all the goats and stuff. You should
Oh
put those
yeah,
goats in there.
yeah. Well, if you have Anatolians, you have to raise them with sheep or goats,
Yeah.
and because that's their natural setting, and that's when they're happy. you know, actually, they don't like, I've had dogs that would, you know, I tried to keep them in some. It's like, no, I got to go out there with my animals. I'm not staying in here with you.
My mom's going to be so sad she's not meeting them.
So the genetic basis of these dogs is the daughter of Yazzie, who's got all that amazing genetics that he's produced, mixed with Ghazi, who that whole side are amazing and all that. And Ghazi, I actually one time worried about him, that would he ever really protect, because he's the sweetest dog, Anatolian. Even sweeter than Yenis, and I mean, he is super sweet. But then, did I tell you he chased a bear off out at?
No.
Yeah, he was in his pasture, and a few weeks earlier, Leslie had taken him and done a 4-H type demonstration with him, and there's a bunch of 10 and 12-year-old kids, and she was teaching them about these are livestock guardian dogs, and she had him because he totally and completely wonderful temperament. And all these kids were just hugging on him. It was this huge dog. You know, they thought he was wonderful. Well, then about 2 weeks later, she got a call from her neighbor down the hill. And her pasture that Ghazi was in, they can see the carport of the neighbor. And evidently a bear had gotten in the carport, and the father and his daughter were in the house just trying to be quiet and hoping the bear would go away. And all of a sudden, this big dog runs down into their carport and chases that bear away. Then in a few minutes after he's chased the bear away, he comes around and he comes back to the carport. Now this guy's daughter opens the door and runs out, and he said, I thought, oh my God, a dog that can chase a bear away, and my daughter's running out to the dog. Yeah. And then, of course, he said something to her, and she said, oh, Daddy, this is Ghazi. He lives up the hill.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
No, you never told me that story.
Yeah, that didn't happen too long ago. But anyway, so then I realized he just knew when he needs to be aggressive and when he doesn't need to be aggressive. And I love that. Yeah. And that's part of why I chose him as the father for these puppies.
What is the difference between these and is it Krongal?
Okay, I will tell you my opinion. Okay. There's a town in Turkey called, and I say Kangal, but hey, I don't know how the Turkish people say it.
I just read it. I don't know how
I know they may say it more the way you say it. I don't know. But anyway, so if I say it that way, that's whatever. But anyway, in this town, they actually have a breeding facility, and they have kennels where they keep the dogs locked in fairly small areas. And I didn't ever see their tested with goats or anything. They're just in a kennel. And then they breed and they sell them, and they're Kangals. Why are they Kangals? Because they are in Kangal, the town of Kangal.
Oh, sure. Okay.
So when they named this breed, it's a dog from that town area. If I decide out of them, because actually in Turkey, the dogs they have as guardian dogs for millennia were a land race and not fixed to certain qualities like the English way of breeding dogs, because they were selected. Can you protect the animal as you live? You can't. Well, I can't afford to feed you. So anyway, that's my opinion, because I actually, in the Anatolian Shepherd Dog Club, all we require is the dog was born in Turkey and was a livestock guardian. And
I see.
Yeah, so the Kangal is like taking a teeny tiny little piece of turkey and saying those are the only real.
I see.
Yeah, that's my opinion.
Don't people do that with champagne? Or am I thinking of something else?
Oh yeah, because champagne France.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So same concept.
Principle. Yeah. Yeah.
I see.
And now I do know that they've slowly, because we turned it into a breed.
Yeah.
The Kangal breeders are breeding for a little bit different things
Right.
than the Anatolian breeders. Right. But to me, the main thing you need to be breeding for is livestock guardian ability, and the only way you can test for that is have your dogs out with livestock from the time they're little. I put them out here at 3 weeks. They have to interact with them, complaining it's too hot maybe, because they were out here. Now I did take them back in when it froze, because I thought, no, that's too much.
Yeah.
But I put them back out when it's the first day it got above freezing.
Colton,
so.
Go capture the drama.
I got it.
What's going on in there?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, I clearly don't need the dog food. None of them were the least bit.
Do a lot of people try to have them as pets?
I actually sell some as home companion guardians.
Oh, you do?
And the reason I do is, but the problem with having one as a home companion guardian, you're the flock.
Sure.
That means you can't go to work at 7 in the morning and come home at 7 at night.
No.
They are miserable if you're not there. So I sell it to homes where the people are around all the time, at least one of the people.
That's interesting. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah. Well, here's why. Dogs, I've gotten calls from people, dogs that are isolated during the day like that, they will leave and go somewhere else.
And just
to find somebody alive to be with.
Oh, wow.
But if they had livestock or people, they don't feel like the need to leave.
Yeah.
Hey, baby. Hello, little sweetie.
Someone asked if you have a favorite animal on the whole property.
All my Anatolians.
All of them?
They're all my favorites. I am very, very obsessed with Anatolians. And
I know. You do love them.
I do. And I sometimes overfeed them.
The puppies look good. Your dogs look good too.
Well, I try to feed them good food and high quality. And like the mother, she gets raw chicken and raw pork.
Cool.
And pork bones that are with the raw pork as well. And then I give liver, but I only give like a teaspoon a day. It's like a vitamin.
Yeah.
I actually read a book on nutrition, and basically the vitamin people copy the ratios in liver because it's the most perfect balance for dogs.
Oh, interesting.
So I thought, well, let's just go to the source.
Yeah, cool.
Why buy a vitamin when I buy liver?
That's great. What kind of goats are they?
I have, in this area, I have Nubians, but in a different area, I have Boer goats also, with dogs.
You don't have any babies, right? No.
I have 3 baby goslings.
Oh,
but,
cute.
Yeah, but no baby goats they'll start having them in March.
Cute.
I plan the breeding so that the weather isn't like freezing and miserable, or at least I hope so.
She's eating dirt. Yum.
No wonder you're full. So one of these girls is going to actually wind up being shown by one of the buyers I already have.
Nice to puppy. Has Descartes ever been to a show?
No, but her mother is the #1 Anatolian in the nation for 2 years in a row.
She's built so different from your others.
Yes. Actually, it's the choice of the breeder from California. They breed a little differently, but why I like her is because her leg structure is flawless, which is why she clears a 6-foot fence with
I was
no
going to say,
problem.
this dog can jump.
So what I'm trying to do is get her leg structure and my genetics blended.
Sure.
Because I want the leg structure. The leg structure is pretty flawless. And I don't like the nose being more pointed like this. If you notice on mine, I like a wider muzzle, a wider head, and no pointy tip to the nose.
Yeah.
Her mother, if you took a picture of her mother and looked at her and her mother, it'd be hard to tell which one was her and which one
Really?
was her mother.
Yeah.
She's very similar. Even though it was my male that was the dad with my look. But I figure one more breeding and I should get my look, but I'll pick puppies with her legs. Oh, that's the one I call the talkative one.
Is the girl?
Yes, all the puppies are quiet except for her. She tells you how she's feeling about things.
Oh, it's this one. Hi.
And she's done that since she was like teeny tiny, before her eyes were even open. She would tell me what she was feeling. Like she'd crawl away and then she'd be like, "Where is everybody?" She'd be like 2 feet away. And she'd start talking about it. But it worked because I'd jump out of bed and scoot her over with her mom. So I guess now she expects me to do what she's complaining about.
Yeah, I guess I've never really heard your dog. I mean, besides barking.
Yeah.
I've never really heard your dogs whining.
They're usually very, very stoic and quiet.
Cost.
Yeah.
Cost.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, well, except when they're barking
Except
at
when they're
something. Yeah. Yeah. And that's why Koss is in my yard area. With Koss there, who would want to go in at night with her barking at him? But here's the thing about him. Hers is more demonstratively protective, but they're all protective like she is. It's that the others are like going, I don't really see a problem. She's like, I don't know you, so I do see a problem. And even if she knows you,
Yeah.
but she's still, it may have been more because you were having
I
been
think
here so much.
she would still
but-
bark if it was just me.
Maybe, but you quiet her down pretty quick usually. She responds well to you. Do you want to see if we can see the puppies under the building?
Sure, yeah. Or I'd love to go
Or
see other dogs
anything else
too.
you want to see?
I saw him playing under there earlier.
I'd like to see Chibuk and.
Well, yeah,
Maya
you
and-
just guide around to what you want. You can.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just don't want to make
I'm
you
just
walk too much.
Follow. Oh, I have the bucket. Oh, and my injections and my joints are really helping me a lot. I'm not under the kind of pain I was.
Good.
So
Good
yeah. I mean, I'm not 18, but.
Hi. Okay, so this is
Tatlum. Yeah.
Okay. And what does Tatlum mean? Do you remember?
You know, I
there's
don't
one.
remember, but it was a good definition.
There's a good reason for it.
Yeah.
Hi.
I'll see if I can look it up. Oh, okay. Who's that?
I don't know. Oh.
I'm going to step in front of you.
Oh, you're good.
Oh, is that the fancy boy? Yeah, that's fancy boy.
Get away from me, you lady. I do not.
Hello, baby. And remember, the only reason I call him fancy boy is the black dot on his tail. None of the others do, so it was just a way to distinguish them.
Cool.
Let's see if I can find out what Tatlum means.
Hi, Ducat. Hello. Goats.
It means sweetie.
Sweetie. Cute.
Except I think she thought it meant sweet sugar or sweet honey. Her father is Tup,
I was going to say, is that
Tupelo
why?
honey. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why she liked the name Tatlum. It is pretty good.
Yeah, I like it. I like the name Tup a lot, too.
And he is really sweet. Oh, I do too. So he is now 10.
Yeah?
So he produced puppies at 9. And that's the first litter I ever bred to get puppies. I realized all of a sudden they get old and you don't know it. And you go, oh my God.
It happens really fast.
And then the female was just about to turn 6 when she had the litter, and it's her first litter. So they're both terrific dogs. But
What do you think, Colton? You having a good time over there?
Oh, I love dogs.
How many do you have on the property now, including the
I
puppies?
think I only have about 11.
Not including the puppies. Including the puppies?
Not
you have-
including the puppies, no.
Then
That
you
would be
have
17 if you include the puppies. So one thing I'd like to point out, I guess you've noticed by now that these 9-month-old puppies are very calm, laid-back dogs. And that is what you really want in an Anatolian, because you want them to be calm, laid-back when nothing's going on.
Yeah.
So, did you want to go look at some of
I
those
do,
others?
yeah. I'd love to see them all.
Well, let's see if we can also see some of the goslings.
Cute.
So, I had 7.
Uh-huh.
They hatched out just before the cold hit.
Yeah.
So, I think the mom did really good in saving 3 of them. So, I assume I've got the survival of the fittest group. But I tried, I brought one in, but, you know, they
They're
didn't
fragile
work.
at that age. Chat, if you have questions, you can ask them. Sorry, I haven't really been paying attention. This is Goye.
Yes, and she's
Goye.
one of the ones I overfeed.
And Jet.
And he is a 15-year-old champion
He looks pretty
border
good.
terrier who
He
has
looks
not
pretty
been
good.
properly groomed.
Oh, he looks good.
Well, he looks better. I figured out what to do. I couldn't stand just letting it grow. And you
Yeah.
know, you're supposed to strip him, and that's pulling the hair out, and I can't. It hurt him, and I
Yeah.
hate hurting him.
Yeah.
So what I did is I would take a brush and just brush him and brush him and brush him, and then when I got all of it that could be brushed out, I just took a scissors and I kind of clipped the longer hairs.
Yeah. I think he looks great.
And he feels better too.
Yeah.
But I can't believe, I mean, he's pushing the upper age limit of the breed, 12
And
to
he's
15.
moving around. I mean, he doesn't look like he's
Well,
in
and
pain.
a pit bull grabbed the front leg, and
you
the
can't
vet
tell.
suggested
Yeah.
cutting it off
I know.
because there was no way to save it. But a very good thing to know is I put him in a hyperbaric oxygen. He likes that. A hyperbaric oxygen chamber.
Yeah.
And that promotes cell growth, and that's why he actually has the use of that leg.
Yeah, pretty cool.
So,
Pretty cool, Jet. He's the boss.
so where are the geese? Oh, over here. Let's go this way.
Hi, Cos. Hello.
Yes, can you imagine that dog at night coming towards you?
That's the one that protected him from the 2x4 shot. The story he was telling about the guy that came behind him with the
she's
2x4.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the 2x4 dog.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
They're so little still.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I bet they like that it's so warm now.
Oh man, I'm sure they're just loving it because you know they first hatched out. The highs were in the 30s.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy.
It was horrible. I can't believe any of them survived. Careful of that mud.
But they might run away from you, but if you want to show them. Oh, you know what? They would love to see your garden too.
Oh, okay. Well, it looks pretty bad now. Just the 1st of February.
I went to a really cool carnivorous plant shop this weekend.
Really?
Yes, you would love it. He's got a bunch of carnivorous plants.
Oh, wow.
He taught me all about them. They have crazy They just look wild. You know,
Yeah.
picture
Yeah.
plants.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was so interesting.
So the mother, this is the she had a group last year, but it was warmer and she had 10 and all 10 made it.
Yeah.
But with this temperature, she only managed to save the 3, 2 girls and a boy.
Yeah.
And they are pilgrim geese. That means the white ones are boys, the gray ones are girls, and the darker ones, the darker 2 are girls, and that lighter one going off to the left is a boy.
Oh, wow.
You can tell the day they hatch out.
I didn't realize that. That's cool.
So, whenever you want and you think it'll work, you can come and I'll let you I have a lot of start of this is oregano.
Yeah.
Oregano? Yeah, oregano. And it grows really good even in the horrible caliche.
Yeah. How's it going with the rabbits? Are they still getting in there?
The plants I have are plants rabbits do not like.
They're over it. Huh?
So, yeah, all the stuff, I'm going to have to I have some fencing to do it with, but I'm going to have to put the fencing to keep rabbits out.
I can help you if you want.
Oh,
to
wow, okay. That'd be
just
great.
chicken wire, right? It's easy.
It's just, yeah, it's short. It's only 2 feet high.
Yeah. I
So,
can do that.
and here, so like, these are the Dutch. Do you want to go in there?
Sure.
It's not
Yeah.
fits separating. Yeah, and I'll show you some of the plants that I wanted to let you have.
Yeah.
And you can, anytime you want to come dig up the bulbs, you can dig them and transplant them. And
Yeah, pollinator garden too. We got those Cosmo seeds.
Oh, yeah, you've got those, so that's good.
I'm excited to plant
Now,
those.
these are more just because, well, I've selected plants that thrive in this horrible soil because, oh, Dan was working on some stuff for me. Guess he didn't put that up. Okay, so to get in here, I'll just leave this open. So, remember I was telling you about the narcissus bulbs?
Yes,
Except they have another name.
Beautiful, beautiful flower.
Yes, with real, and they come in the spring and all that. Well, these are the plant part, and
How long do they bloom for? Was it like 3 weeks?
yeah, that's about it. And
They look like this, and then 3 weeks out of the year, it's the most crazy, exotic, beautiful looking flower ever.
yeah,
Then
they're
they go
so
away again.
pretty, and they live here. This is an example to people who. Yes, they're oak. They're bur oak. They were planted from acorns that I
You
just
planted this one?
I planted every tree here, there, from acorns.
Yeah.
And you just poke them in the ground. I tell people that, but it's misleading. I say you just poke them in the ground.
Yeah,
and they
I
go.
planted. You must have given me like 25 or something. I planted them all, but I didn't put wire around them. So
Yeah,
they
you
sprouted,
have
I bet
to.
squirrels
Well,
got
and
'em.
I put wire around mine, and then I have dogs on either side because the squirrels go crazy digging up those acorns.
Yeah.
And then they don't. If they dig them up, but
Cool though.
yeah. So, and then this is the Dutch iris, which is different than the regular iris. That little one down there is the regular iris. Yep, and I have a few there. But and this I went crazy, I guess, when I was I put these acorns in, and 2 of the bur oak came up, and this is a Monterey. So,
A Monterey.
yes.
Oh.
They're
I don't know all
mostly
my
in
oaks.
Mexico, but
Yeah.
there's one little place in Texas on this side of the Rio Grande that they grow. So they're native.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. So anyway, but and then these are the winter version of my garlic, and I like garlic because it can grow. I mean, they look shabby right now, but once it starts warming up and getting nice, they'll all lose all that yellow and they'll really grow, and they make great garlic.
Is this your arugula? Is that arugula?
Yes, this is my arugula, and it's very pungent, which is why the rabbits don't eat it.
For you. Yeah, you can eat it.
But I've learned to kind of like
very
it
strong.
pungent, but what you do is
Yeah.
when you pick it, you mix it with other vegetables.
You said it's good.
Then it reduces the intensity.
Yeah, real peppery, huh?
Yeah, it's real peppery. It gives flavor to lettuce, let me tell you.
And then what are these ones?
This is, I have them here because they're seeds for basil.
Okay.
So
Oh yeah, these are a bunch of seed
I
pods.
haven't planted basil like in 4 years or something. I just let them drop the seeds. I'm big into what will grow
Acclimated, huh?
in this area without me going berserk trying to make it grow.
Right.
And yeah, so and here's
I usually
another
say that,
thing.
so I should have told you that.
People say you cannot grow these, and they are Texas mountain laurel.
Are those ones with the purple flowers?
Yes, the beautiful
Oh yeah, those are pretty.
from seeds.
And you did.
I
looks
I
really
did
good.
put about 15 seeds there.
Yeah.
And 2 plants made it. 4 came up.
Uh-huh.
And then I had those, I forgot which is their moth that eats them.
Mm-hmm.
But they came and they ate the brand new, just emerging, and it killed 2 of them.
Evil.
And then they ate some of the other, but I guess they didn't eat so much it killed it. And as they get
It looks
bigger,
really strong now.
yeah, now it's good.
Cool.
So I don't understand why more people. Oh, and I had done this for you. Oops.
Did you? What is it?
Yeah, but it's those. And I
oregano.
think it died.
But it's dead, huh?
So I didn't keep doing the right stuff.
Oh, thank you.
So anyway, see, I did start. It's like, oh well.
I have so many of your just clippings from your plants drying.
Oh,
So
okay,
I do
good,
use
good.
them for cooking.
Well, I will say, I mean, I need to trim those up and everything, but it is amazing how healthy the original plants. It must have been 7 or 10 years ago that I planted them, and everywhere I just take a little thing like that, pop it in the ground, and it develops into that. That was like 2 years ago, and. You know, it's just, they do so good.
Yeah.
But again, I like things that prove they're tough enough to grow here.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm surprised the rabbits don't go for your arugula.
It's too
bitter?
bitter. That's what I decided. It's got so much flavor, they don't like it.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's handy.
for the spring, I am going to I planted a whole bunch of other stuff, and man, I was feeding rabbits like nobody's business. So now,
That's nice.
to have a garden, I'm going to have to protect it.
Cool. And then on this side, guys, you've got a bunch of rosemary and cosmos. Oh, that whole cosmos,
The
bush
cosmos
is gone.
That's
so crazy.
Yeah. They start growing in the spring, like April. And then they're gone by the winter.
Interesting.
And again, a bur oak tree that I planted from seed. I will say the rosemary, I bought the cheapest rosemary plants they sell at HEB.
That plant is established.
Yeah,
It's
been
not
here
going
about-
anywhere.
Yeah, 3 years. And
That's awesome.
that's about a year old.
That rosemary?
Yeah.
Wow.
I just bought it last year. Again, like I think I paid $1.98 or whatever their cheap price is at HEB for their cheapest plants.
Yeah.
I watch for the cheap ones.
Yeah.
And then I bought it and I go, well, they're either good or they're not.
I love HEB. I don't know what I did without HEB.
And that may be part of where you want to get those from. Because those somehow, the soil must be better there. See how much more vigorous and healthy that
In this spot
looks?
than those, yeah.
And I do remember before I planted them, I did bring over some organic fertilizer. So I guess it makes a difference.
Guess so. Plants are, I wish I knew more. We should go to that carnivorous plant shop.
Well,
It was
sometime if
so
you want to go,
interesting.
I'd enjoy
Yeah, I could take you.
a company.
He's opening up a storefront
Oh, wow.
this weekend. And he's got so many.
Well, and I have seen PBS programs. Again, see they're 2 years old, and then the little ones are 1 year old.
I know. I can't believe that you'd...
And these are from the very same seeds I gave you.
They failed.
Well, what I read,
How old are these ones?
2.
Really?
And
They grew
I
fast.
I put it in the ground 3 years ago,
Yeah.
in the fall.
Yeah.
And then it sprouted 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So,
And they made it through freeze and stuff, huh?
yeah.
Few
And
freezes.
you don't see it now, but do you see kind of how they have reddish leaves? They're not supposed to be so red. And yet, evidently the ones I got it from have a lot of red. I love it.
It's pretty.
Yeah, I do. And then the other thing is, see that one, you go, that's not these are chinkapin oak. That is supposed to be a chinkapin oak. I got all the seeds, the acorns, from underneath the very same tree, and yet it came up, it looks like a live oak until I noticed, and I went back and looked at some old pictures of last year, during the winter, their leaves turned red. And yes, they become brown and eventually that'll fall off, but they're red first in the same manner these the chinkapin oak do. So I'm actually thinking that might be a cross between a live oak
That's
and a
interesting.
chinkapin. Yeah. So I'm finding it quite fascinating, and I'm going to keep paying attention.
The guy, Colton, came with me. We filmed a video at that plant shop, and he talked a lot about hybridization. Called it hybrid vigor.
Yeah.
And they
Yes.
hybridize and then become more tolerant. So
Yes.
They're just...
Yeah, and
after
here's the
that.
thing I like about planting acorns. I planted like 8 times the number of acorns that I have trees.
Yeah.
So I figure the ones that didn't sprout, maybe they weren't as good here. And the ones that did, maybe the soil and everything was really good. So maybe I've already stepped ahead of the game and gotten adapted. That's what I'm thinking.
No,
anyway.
I mean, it makes sense. And you got them not too far away, too.
Yeah,
So-
yeah,
so
about
that
5 miles away.
That makes sense.
So,
Let's see.
anyway.
Is Chibuk still over there?
Oh, do you want to see while we're here, Savannah and Sarat?
Oh, I didn't even see them then. Yeah. Hi, Savan. Careful. Oh, brave.
So I went back and looked at pictures of her when she was a puppy.
Do you want to go around?
This is my exercise program.
Okay.
When you're old, you have to figure out ways. If I don't go to exercise, planned exercise, so I try to figure out ways to keep my body moving.
Guys.
Hi guys. Hello. Now Sarat is younger. This is the mom, and that's her daughter. Yes, Jordan. Oh, you are so sweet. She's such a mean dog, isn't she? You are so sweet, Jordan.
Sarat stayed so shy.
Yes, and she may always be. Oh, now she's coming up. Good girl, Sarat. Yes, that's good for you. See, she's good. Yes, she is. As they get older, they kind of learn that it's okay to trust people more. But she's the dog that in 2021 it was that we had that 3-inch snow, which we never, or 6-inch, because we never have 6-inch snows.
Yep.
And she was out here. I had gone in because my electricity went out, and then I couldn't get back out for 4 days. And my goats were all having babies, and the only thing for them to eat was dead baby goats.
Ugh.
So I thought I had ruined her by her first experience with baby goats was to eat them. And sure enough, she is perfect.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She never, she is so good with them. She knows you eat them, but only when they're dead.
That's crazy.
To clean them up so predators aren't attracted.
Hi, so brave, Sarat.
Yeah. So if they're really bred correctly, they will have the instincts you need.
It's so funny how different they are.
Each dog.
Yeah. Even in those puppies too. I mean,
Even in
they're
those puppies.
They act so different.
And I tell people who have only had one Anatolian before, and they go, I want another dog just like the one I had. You will never have you could get 1,000 of them. You'll never have one just like that dog.
Yeah.
You have to love this dog for who it is, because each one, they're like people.
Yeah.
They have their own individual personalities. And I do really love them. Oh, see how pretty her head is, Sarat?
Yeah.
When she
I was
pricks
just
her ears
thinking that.
forward. Yeah. Gorgeous
How dark
head.
her head is too. It's just
Yeah.
How many goats do you have out there now? Oh,
I think I have 12 boar goats.
that's way less than I expected.
Well, yeah, it's like they were eating me out of house and home, so I had to sell a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And here in March, I'll be having a whole bunch more because all the babies will be born.
Oh, it's my favorite time of year.
So. Well, they are
I love when
cute,
you have baby
aren't they?
goats.
And then we can go over here. I haven't fed them yet.
The goats think it's time.
Oh, there's the goslings again.
How'd that girl do after we trimmed her feet?
Oh, much better, although it still needs to be trimmed some more. But I've been meaning to get Dan to do it.
Oh, I can come back.
See if we can squeeze a little harder. I was thinking about buying some new shears that might be sharper that help us. But I hadn't done that yet.
Little baby geese. They're so fluffy.
They are.
So cute.
They're so cute. And I might add, I have dogs in the yard with them. They protect them. I'll tell you what's bad. The crows.
Yeah. Oh, do they go after them?
Oh my gosh.
Dang.
I saw on my ducklings that were born when it was freezing, I saw a crow flying away with a dead duckling. And they've done it with
that's
geese
sad.
too when they're first few days old.
Sorry.
Well, that's
Hi,
part
goats.
of the goose mothers.
Yeah.
And the dads too have to know to protect the babies from
Yeah.
the crows.
Yeah.
And actually, I've seen them out here, like the crows come down to eat some of the goose food, and the geese now started going after them. It's like, get away.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So, and you kind of, it's useful to have that in your flock, the ability to protect their own babies. So these babies are only about 10 months old.
They're so cute.
Yeah.
Hi, Jabook. Hi, Case. Wow.
So the male is Case Jr. He's a 10-year-old dog. And then Baton is Savon's mom, and she's 10 years old. Hey, baby. And then the last one, the whitish one, is Jabook, and she's 2. And you're a bit active, but she is really, really good with everything.
Hi, Miss. Hi, Case. How are you?
Hi, darling. And I never had to correct her for anything.
Jabook?
Yeah, never. She with the poultry, everything, she always just did the right thing. And she's real active. That worried me. But she uses her activity to check for predators and be on the lookout.
Nice.
And she particularly doesn't like my neighbor's dogs coming up to the fence. She thinks they
Jabook?
might hurt
Yeah,
the
I know,
goats.
That's fair.
So, but anyway.
I know it's not a good thing, but I love how short this one is.
I know, it's cute.
So cute and
But
little.
I don't know why they're smaller. Look how big the Nubians are compared to them.
Just like height-wise on the goat.
Yeah, I
guys tell
started
how short that
selecting
one
for
is?
long legs on my Nubians, and that may be why the Nubians are so tall.
Do you think that helped him do better because you get more weight on him that way, or?
Well, I didn't mean to exactly select for it, but all those California males I was using, they have real big long legs.
Yeah. That's
So-
right. We had talked about that.
Yeah.
They really are tall in California.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, my parents have a couple Nubians that are like,
Yeah,
go up to
huge.
here.
Yeah. And so I said, well, I guess I'll look for it. The advantage is they can get higher up in the tree to eat the leaves with the
Also,
longer
guys,
legs.
look at this tree. I'm obsessed with this tree. You know this. It is the coolest goat tree ever. They get to climb the whole thing. They go all the way up on those branches. It's so much fun.
And they trim it for me.
They trim it for him. It's so cool.
Yeah. It's
So
like
cool.
the baby playground.
Little short stuff.
And some days they'll all be running up and down on that tree branch. It's perfect for babies. The older goats don't get up on it much, but the babies just love it.
She's
Hi, Jabook. Oh, my good girl. Yes. And Baton is wonderful. She is a very, very aggressive female. I know you don't see it.
Baton.
Yes. But she doesn't let any other dog make her be second. She says, nope, I'm powerful. I don't care that I'm not that big, I'm powerful. And she's a really wonderful guardian. So if you notice, she doesn't have a black mask, and I have dogs that don't have. And in some ways, I kind of like them better because, especially for home companion guardians,
Yeah.
because people look at them, and if they look at these black mask ones, they kind of are nervous. But then if the same look but no mask, they think it's some kind of a golden retriever. Or
She does look a
whatever.
little bit more like a
Yeah,
pet dog.
or a lab.
She
or-
also is exceptionally friendly.
and she is extremely friendly.
Really sweet.
Yeah, she's very, very friendly. And she came from Idaho, where I sold a lady a dog.
I'm from Idaho.
Oh,
Oh, really? So I think it's Mesa, Idaho.
Okay.
Do you know where that is?
I do, actually.
Close to some border.
Yeah. I'm from Boise, so I'm
Oh,
from
okay.
the west side of
Oh,
Idaho.
okay. So yeah. Well, anyway, I sold her an Anatolian, and then
tell me.
our deal was it was a really, really nice dog, and I told her that I had to have a
Up here?
puppy back.
I think.
What's wrong?
No, my mic magnet got knocked off. It's not the end of the world. I
Oh.
tucked in here, but
Okay.
it's probably on the ground somewhere.
Good luck finding it.
I know. I was thinking.
I hope it's really shiny. 'Cause-
Oh, it's just black.
oh no. Yeah.
It's okay.
Do you think it was after we
Jabook.
came in here?
I think so.
Okay.
But
Well, I'll just kind of keep my eye. Is it like a button size?
It's like a little round bit.
Well, when I come in, I'll keep looking.
That's
but
all right.
I doubt it we'll find it. So, did you want to go look at those two dogs?
Yes, I want to see Cutla. You guys remember, I had live streamed with Cutla before. They might remember her when she was a puppy, and now they'll probably be shocked.
How big she is.
Because she's big now.
Yeah.
And a whole adult dog.
And she's just a year old. But she looks like an adult dog.
But she acts like a puppy still, huh?
Yeah, she acts like a puppy.
There she is! She's so... That's Cutla on the right.
The puppyish acting one. Gosh, she's only a year old. But she's a little more active than I like.
She's big for a year.
Yes, her father was huge. He's a dog I co-own.
Oh my goodness.
I'll help. Be sure. Cutla, no, thank you. Cutla, you're not don't jump. She hasn't learned not to jump on people. She needs more training on that.
Hi, Cutla.
Good girl, Cutla. No jumping. No,
She's just so strong.
She's just so happy to see people.
Hi, Cutla. You've grown so fast. You're so big.
And this is my underfed Bahia. She doesn't need hardly any food at all to be in really good shape.
Yeah. Hi. Are you excited?
Actually, almost all the Anatolians in these two areas require very little food to stay in overweight shape. And I try to put them on diets. She's also 9.
Yeah.
Or she may be 10 now. Yeah, 10. Cutla, calm down, sweetie. I know it's so exciting. It's so exciting. Cutla. Nope. Good girl. Good girl. You just love me so much, don't you? Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Cutla. Thank you, sweetie.
Nice. Her teeth look good. You got nice teeth.
They're pretty good for having knocked out all those
Pretty
baby teeth and affected her growth, but
her coat's
extra dense.
funny. Yeah, it's really dense and really short.
Her father has one of the densest coats of any dog I ever produced. Which is great because he lives in Idaho.
Yeah, right. That's nice.
But that is, you're supposed to have Anatolians with really dense coats, and you can see her coat is really dense.
Yeah.
And the reason is that way they can be out in any weather. I've shipped them to Alaska, and Cutla, stop that! Thank you, Cutla. She goes, but he's so fun to play with. He's so fun to play with. Yeah, but I've shipped him to Alaska, worried about him, made this guy send his doghouse was a foot of foam with plywood on either side and a heat lamp inside.
They just didn't care for it.
After 3 days, he couldn't get the dog to go in there, and it was 35 degrees below zero.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
2021? Was that during the freeze?
No, this was in the 90s.
Hi.
Yeah, and it was Alaska.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was Alaska. I was so worried, and then he was sending me this picture. I can't even make the dog go under the heat lamp. But because they're actually equipped, I mean, wolves are in the north a lot. They're fine in all that snow and harsh weather and all that. Well, what you have to do when you're breeding Anatolians, you have to breed dogs that can handle that kind of weather. And what they really have trouble with here is the heat.
Yeah.
So
their ears are looking really good.
that's because it's winter.
Oh.
Yeah,
Look
I
out,
hate
Cord.
to admit it, but it's because it's winter. And also the weather was so weird this fall that the flies didn't go crazy as they did.
Well, that's At least there's that.
And that AlloShield does help. I'd spray it on them occasionally
yeah, I love that stuff.
yeah, was the only thing that worked. So.
Doggy. He's so cute.
Yeah, which also, this kind of undercoat makes them difficult house dogs.
Oh, it'd be everywhere.
Everywhere. It floats up on top of pictures on the wall. I mean, it goes everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she is 10, and the reason I know she's 10, Case Jr. is her litter brother. Yes. Yes.
That's so cool.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Yeah, they look alike.
Yeah, they
Makes
do.
Sense.
Yeah.
Hi, Color. Yes, hello.
And she actually was the pick of the litter
Put your
puppy
hand down.
because her conformation was so incredible. I've hidden it through the fat I put on her. Cutla, you're not supposed to do that. Cutla. That is okay.
Okay. Stay there.
The reason you do not want one of these dogs to think it's okay to jump on people, one, goats hate it, and you don't want that in the dog. But mainly is if they run at you and jump, they can knock you down and you can break something
absolutely.
easy.
Yeah, she's like a truck.
Yeah, they'll just be doing it out of happiness, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Nice. Nice. You have
And I guess I'm one of the few people that ever come visit her because it's the second pen in. And of course I come
I come here every time.
Yeah, you
But
do.
I need to come here more.
Yeah, I think she's saying that. I want more. Yeah. I think her temperament would make her a great home companion.
Oh, she loves people,
Yeah, she loves people.
Yeah.
And she would love being the protector of people. Mm-hmm. And so...
Yeah, it'd be fun.
And remember, she is only a year-old puppy.
Her eyes are really close together. I've never really noticed that. Well,
I'll have to look.
She's fast. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just looking at her a weird angle.
Yeah, it's normal, I think. I don't know. They look about normal to me for her head size.
Oh, could you tell them about the curly tail versus the straight tail?
So, a long time ago, there were breeders that were saying they had to have a curly tail, and somebody even said, that is what distinguishes them from all other breeds. And I thought, do you not notice that there's tons of breeds with a curly tail, but the tail is very significant, and when it's curled up or if it's down or whatever it is, the tail position of an Anatolian is telling you what that dog is thinking. And if it's up, they're more on the alert. They can be on the alert because they're happy, or they can be on the alert because they're not happy. And they actually use it as a signal to the goats. And the goats actually understand it. Like Case Jr., when I had him in the big pasture with the goats, he would, if I would start calling the goats, and it was so far he heard, but they'd be ignoring me, and he knew that meant come in, we're going to have supper. He would run around a giant circle that completely, he never let anybody be passed. He made them move toward the center of the circle, and he'd maybe run around 3 times, tightening it, and then they'd be in a clump. And then, I don't know how he taught them this, but then he would just turn and start trotting back, and his tail would be wagging back and forth, straight up, and curled over at the tip, because I can see it better if it's curled up. And his tail would move as his legs moved back and forth in a rhythmic movement, and they would follow him all the way back to the barn, where I'd then feed him and the goats.
Yeah.
And pretty much these are kind of things that I look for when I'm thinking about breeding dogs. I try to pack as many excellent working traits in any dog as I can. And but you can't get all of them.
Yeah.
And that, and he also had the following instinct, which I have an article about that, because it's an instinct that seems to be being lost because people have smaller acreages, or they're just in a house, and they can't tell, and their animals aren't even with goats. So they can't tell if the dog has the following instinct. But that's the instinct.
Following, like, oh, sorry.
To follow the goats wherever they go.
Do you remember when your goats all got out and I was walking to go patch a fence over there and all your goats were out and Goliath was just with them?
Yeah.
She was just walking with them and I was like, fence? Property? What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, she just went with them.
And that is what you want. You want Anatolians that aren't property bound.
Yes.
You want them bound by their flock.
Right.
And so far, every time my goats have figured a way to get out, I always find dogs with them.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, and actually I used to keep bells on because I used to have a lot more goats.
Mm-hmm.
And they got out this back way at the very back corner. Mm-hmm. And you know, back then, I guess you didn't know back then, but back then it was full of cedar trees. So you just go a few feet and that's it. You couldn't see anything. It's cedar trees everywhere. So I had the bells on, and then I'd hear the bells, so I knew that's where they were. And then the dog would hear me, they would jump out, and it's like, it's me, because they would be threatening until they realized it was me.
You're fluffy.
So I think he's the one I'm going to use as the main breeder. I'm probably going to sell those other two. I couldn't decide between them. I liked something about each one. But his mother is out of a goat I called Beauty.
Out of a goat you call what?
Beauty.
Beauty.
Because she was so beautiful as a boar goat.
Yeah.
And so he's a grandson of Beauty, and she's got all this old good genetics I used to have. So he's actually more remote from the genetics I currently have. And I like his look.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's cute. I like his ears.
Yeah, I love his ears and his head, and even the way his horns are and his body shape. I really like him. But it's hard to tell when they're little. And the others have good things too, but I like him best.
Yeah.
And he has a more masculine looking head. I like that in my males.
He does have a really broad head.
Yeah, he does. So.
All right. Cool. Go back to the puppy pasture?
Okay, maybe they'll come out more. Oh, well, and finally she's calmed down a little bit.
I was just going to say, she's calmer than last time I was in here.
As she gets older, she'll get calmer, I'm hoping.
Yeah. Last time I came in here, I was worried about you because she's so strong, and I couldn't get her to stop jumping on me.
Yeah.
I thought she would knock you over.
Well, it's really funny. She doesn't really jump on me much.
Yeah. Dogs are funny that way.
Yeah, it's like new people,
Yeah.
she definitely jumps on. Yeah, she's like, can't control herself. Thank you. And imagine, okay, so she's over a year old.
Yeah.
And then those other puppies that were just laying around, walking calmly, are 9 months old.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're more what I try to
That is
breed for.
interesting.
There is a plus about this type of dog. They spot predators further away when they're more active like this.
Hi, Tabook. Hi. I was going to say hi to Case, but...
Okay. You can see that Cutla and her are sisters.
Yes, I do see that. And then this one is brother of the older dog in there, which they're very similar.
There is a relationship between these two, but I can't think of it right now. They're all related eventually, because I've had them for 40 years.
So funny.
So...
Hi, old goats. Goats, any of you find my magnet? No? It's my only complaint with these mics. Those magnets really need to be stronger.
Yeah.
Wow.
That black blends in with the goat poop.
We're being a white.
Honestly, yeah. Never thought
Then it'd look like the white rocks.
Yeah.
The
Orange,
color I
maybe.
like is yellow. A real bright yellow. I notice that the most.
hazard yellow?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
I notice it the most.
Well, the other ones, we have the yellow smiley faces on them.
Well, that might help.
Yeah, that would help. It's nice you still have ground cover in your pastures. Just like that there's green in there.
Yeah, I do try to manage them so I maintain some. I mean, basically, this is like a caliche parking lot, all of my property.
Yeah, I guess so.
But
It looks good though.
yeah, so what these are, they're plants that manage to do well in this type of soil. Oh, which bur oak and especially chinkapin oak are oaks that do well in alkaline soil.
Yeah.
And a lot of other oaks don't do so well in alkaline soil. So if anybody has alkaline soil, that's why I actually did a lot of research before I just went around picking up acorns.
Duck.
So this boy, we might as well focus on him a second.
Hi, buddy.
He is a male Muscovy,
Yeah.
and that's the red stuff is called the carbuncle, and they're supposed to have it, but his got overgrown and it's interfered with his vision.
Oh.
So he was in with one of his brothers, but then once they got to the stage of protecting the females, he lost every fight. And that's why his tail and all those feathers are messed up, because they have in their middle webbed foot, the middle toe has a very sharp claw. It's like a cutting claw, and they use it fighting.
Yeah.
And he was the loser.
Sad.
I know. So what I did is I said, okay, I'm going to bring him out here and see. I need to refill the water, but I put food right in front of the water bowl, and then I have water for him twice a day. I bring it out. And then he's got greenery he can eat, but he has trouble seeing. So I try to make it real easy for him. But I thought he was going to be my main male. He grew so fast, but then he grew so fast his caruncles blinded
I
him.
forget how big Muscovy are and just how much weight there is.
Yeah, yeah.
It's heavy.
And they're the breed that France, when you have duck in France, it's usually a Muscovy.
Right, yeah.
But they like the white Muscovy. And because that way the skin isn't black, which I guess is less appealing on a plate of food.
Does it taste different?
No, the white and the black, no. They taste exactly the same. It's only the appearance. I guess it looks like a piece of rotted skin. I don't know.
Do you know about...
I eat the black and I'm fine with it.
Do you know about call ducks?
Yes.
My mom has one call duck and he's so cute. I'm sure they're useless, but they're like pet ducks, right?
Yeah, well, that's what I think. But they're so cute.
They're so cute.
Yeah, they're incredibly cute. Sorry.
Go puppies.
Okay. Oh. Gosh, they didn't even want to come out and eat today, their noon meal.
That's all right. I'll go get this to you.
Shocking.
Little puppies.
I'll just stay
Yeah,
here.
you're good.
Yeah, you can do.
Dewey is not useless. Yeah, well.
So do you see how different these 9-month-old puppies are in behavior? And I actually mostly look for that behavior. Although, like with Chibuk, she has never made a mistake at all on any of her decisions. And even though she's active, she's really, really good. So I use that as a guide also. If they do everything right, well, then they should be. That's a breeder in my mind.
Yeah.
You see him sleeping?
That Hallmark temperament.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and so when I breed like Chibuk, I'll breed, and I probably won't breed Cutla because they're sisters, and I like Cutla better. I'll probably breed Cutla only. I already have somebody who's asked me to be on the list for one of her puppies.
Cutlass? is?
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Huh.
But I have long lists of people wanting my puppies, and I hardly ever can. I mean, usually you get on the list. Some people have waited like 2 or 3 years, waiting patiently to get to the top.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'll probably try to find a real calm male to breed her to, something more like he is. Although I can't breed him, he's too genetically close to her. But I'll try to find a male that's got more of his temperament, and then hope that a bunch of the puppies are calmed down temperamentally.
Yeah.
It's always trying to balance different opposing traits and get them in the middle ground
Yeah.
when you're breeding.
These ones are 9 months old.
Yes,
Yes.
9 months old.
But they won't get any taller, will they?
Oh,
They
yeah.
will? Really?
They're usually 2/3 of the height.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I hope that rule is. There are exceptions, because frankly, I don't really want him to keep getting bigger. Like with
He's
her,
so
with
tall.
Yildiz, I'm happy. Don't grow anymore. You're
Yeah.
plenty big. It's just okay. So their dad was Toop. He was enormously tall. It's like 33 inches. He was out.
At the shoulder?
Yes, at the withers. And his father was Tatlum. Wait, let's see. No, that's Tatlam's the
He's
puppy.
Tatlum.
His father was, it starts with a Y.
Uh-huh.
I can't remember his name now. Oh, he was the #1 Anatolian in the nation in 2015. And I can't remember his name. And I produced him too.
Yeah.
And he was very, very enormous. And then he was bred to Raina, and she was the largest puppy out of 14 puppies,
Yeah.
and she was enormous. And all those dogs I just mentioned had the same body style as these did. So I shouldn't be surprised that I got these really enormous dogs, because there are a lot of really and a lot of people would have called these Kangal, because the Kangal people like saying their dogs are bigger. They have a black mask, fawn body, and no white. And so, you can have Anatolians that are big, black mask, a fawn body, and no white too. But a lot of people come here and say they think I have Kangal.
Yeah, well, the first time I think it was when I came and brushed all of them. I did a live stream, and I have a friend who's Turkish, and he thought that.
Yeah.
I've only seen Toop once, but I remember, I mean, he looks noticeably large.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
he looks like,
Yes.
don't know if I told you, I told them he looks like a Minecraft dog. Do you know what Minecraft
No,
is?
what's it?
Minecraft is a game that's made out of blocks.
Oh.
Like, there's just a bunch of blocks you can move around,
Yeah.
and he's got such like a square
right.
head, and
Yeah,
he's just
he does.
massive and
Yeah.
built and square.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
he looks different from
Well,
your
and
other
he's
dogs.
very, very laid back,
Yeah.
which is part of why these puppies are so... Oh, look. That puppy came up to lay down by... Probably. Is that Tatlum, or is that Yildiz, the girl? I can't see from here.
Yeah.
I think it's Yildiz. So as much as she's too harsh with them sometimes, they still like her. Oh, and that's the puppy I might keep.
Oh.
The third boy.
He's very dark.
Yes, except that's his undercoat. So
Uh-huh.
when he's older,
I really
you
like
won't see any of that. Oh, I said, I have something. It was that.
Oh. Do you think it was a
What's
caterpillar
on
or
me?
something? The mic.
I forgot about it. But anyway, the reason I favor him, they all three have really good structure. I do like the muzzle of, hey baby. He, starting before their eyes were open, was exploring and was independent.
Neat.
Yeah. But you're going to
like, "I
come
don't
over
know
to be
going
sure.
over there."
He goes, well, I know he's safe. I better check it out.
Cute.
I better check it out. Also, he's so independent. Like, he's the first one. Like, they'd be all back there at the little nest area. And he'd follow me all the way to that gate when I was leaving. And he just would go everywhere. And I thought, okay, somebody else, if they get him, they may not know how to handle a dog this independent.
Adventurous. Huh?
Yeah, and so, because it does require special handling of these dogs. Oh, the key is never hit them, ever, 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 for any reason. always talk nice to them at least 9 times out of 10, so that when you say something harsh, it's different than normal. And I even think it's better if you say it 99 out of 100 times, or 999 out of 1,000. You want them to very seldom hear anything harsh, and then it makes, if you speak, and then also my other rule is if I speak harshly, I don't let any more than 15 seconds go by before I start baby talk and tell them to come to me and love on them and let them know that I knew they didn't really mean to do whatever they did. And they love pleasing you if you've been the kind of person they could respect so much that actually is what works with them. And I think we brushed on it earlier, but that's why, you know, I've had to teach a lot of people who have gotten these dogs, do not yell at the dog when something's going on. They will think you're yelling at what they're upset with, and maybe you'll trigger them into an attack. Baby talk, and they'll say, oh, he doesn't think it's bad, so I guess I shouldn't either.
Yeah.
Isn't he a wonderful, sweet puppy?
He's very sweet. He's really cute. So how do you talked, when I first met you, you talked about them being really good with kids and women, and then more wary of men. How does that work?
Because men pose a potentially greater threat. They're physically larger generally, they're physically more powerful, and their body produces testosterone, and they understand that smell means aggression.
Interesting.
So and then women, less of a threat, although they're biggish, and then kids, the least threat. And also in Turkey, they had to come back in from the flock and be around the family and all that. And any dog that went after a kid, that dog was dead that day. I mean, you do not go after kids.
Right.
And also the same for the wives.
I don't know if she's whining at
Oh, she's wanting the puppies to come to her, and she's like, oh, come on. Or she could be objecting to how hard it is now to get under there.
Because she's so big.
Because she's so big, yeah.
Seal these.
But part of her problem with playing with them is she so loves them and is interested in them, and, you know, and she wants to interact. But part of their growing up process is they have to learn what's too rough and what's not. And that is kind of one thing I like teaching them, and I even say too rough. So, like, if I'm getting goat food and the goats all come up, like Bethany, she used to be my most perfect dog at this. She was really watch me and see what I wanted. And so she knew she didn't like seeing the goats jostle me. And so she would whirl at them and snap her teeth, and it'd make a clack sound. Her teeth would like close right in front of their nose.
Oh my gosh.
And of course she wasn't trying to bite him. She was saying, get back. And boy, did they. I mean, those teeth, clack. And so I taught her, okay, if you get them 10 feet away, I'm fine. But 10 feet or less, I don't want them near me. I didn't have to do anything. I just get the food and she'd do her job, you know, and it's kind of organically happened because, but then I have tried to work with other dogs. They've learned it, but not as, she was like a natural. But so some of them, especially the males, they do love the part where they go after them. Yeah, get them back. I like it. And then what I have to teach them is too rough, stop. It's like, okay, make them go away. But once they've gone 10 or 15 feet, that's plenty. You do not need to keep pursuing them.
Right.
So I work with them on that a little bit. And they actually pick that up pretty fast. So, but okay, the main thing that most people aren't prepared for is the amount of time. They come out here, they see how calm my dogs seem and how, they have no idea how much time I spend with them. You know, and like for instance on these 2 puppies, well, I didn't move the llama until they were older.
I haven't seen the llama today. Is she in here?
She's in this pasture somewhere.
Okay.
But she's eating, so she's probably like, yeah. But so Tatlum especially, it took him, after a week, he was still kind of barking at her and being like, oh, are you a bear?
It is a step up from goats, for sure.
Oh, big time, because they're so much bigger.
Yeah.
Going, you could be a danger.
Yeah. And she's not as wary as the goats too, right? I mean, she'll walk up to them and yeah.
So finally what I did after a week, I said, okay, I've given you a week to adapt. Yildiz, 24 hours later, she's like, oh, okay, Eric doesn't think it's a problem, so I won't eat her. I like that. But him, he just kept going on and on. So finally I had to chastise him and tell him, enough is enough. Come here, that's good. We don't need to bark at her. And I did it that one day, and then he never barked at her again. He did watch her quite a while.
Yeah.
So then I said, okay, now I want him to learn how to interact with the llama. And so when I put the llama's food down, and I have a stick to keep the goats back, because they'll overwhelm the llama, will just walk away.
Oh my gosh.
So then when they had to learn that if the, oh, you poor baby, that was so hard.
Come here. What's wrong? Oh my gosh.
Hi.
But I took the bucket of food, I set it on the ground, and then I taught them, if it's in the bucket, you can't eat it, but if it's on the ground, you can. And that's kind of, I like working with them to teach them finer skills of what I want. And then later in other areas, it will pay off, even in unexpected ways when you're working with them, because your communication with them is greatly increased. And what I do, I have that shepherd's crook, and so the llama drops a pellet, and then I take the shepherd's crook and I tap it on the ground by the pellet.
And the dog knows where it is.
And she goes, oh, there, okay. And she eats it,
People do that when they drop food in the house, huh? They tap the floor with their foot.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, that's what I do with my dogs.
Since I don't have dogs in the house, it's like, well, I guess
You
I have
guys ever
a little
done that with
jet
your dog?
in the house, but...
You like show the dog where you drop the food?
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. But so I'm doing that. And the deal is, I really enjoy interacting with the dogs. I mean, I'm going to spend 20, 30 minutes letting the llama eat anyway.
Right.
I might as well do something with the dogs. And they like it, and I always praise them and tell them how good they are.
Yeah. They said nature's vacuum cleaner. Someone asked a question. Where did it go? How do you maintain genetic diversity? I guess you just have a lot of papers.
For instance, these dogs have been registered now since the 70s. And so I actually have pedigree all the way back to Turkey. And there could be like 18, 19, 20 generations where I put every bit of information I can find about that dog, including OFA information and all that. But it is hard to maintain a true genetic diversity because there are too many dogs that aren't any good because they've never been tested for working ability, and you have no idea. And that is what this breed is, so that is my primary consideration. Yes, I have dogs I can take to shows and win. Get championships real easy, but can they work? If they can't work, I would never breed a dog. And not only work, they have to work at a high level. So 5 years ago was the last time, or now I guess it's 7 years ago, I found this dog. He was in Georgia. He was from just some Georgia genetics that nobody ever heard of. And I tried to trace it back, and you call these people, they don't want to give you any pictures or any information. You're just bothering them. They're just a farmer out there trying to make a living. Okay, so I go, okay, so I know the dog was bred for working ability, but somebody sent me a picture, and I said, oh my God, his body is a show body. So when I find a true working dog with a show body, then I try to utilize them. So ever since that dog, I have been looking and looking and looking at pictures and trying to get people to send me information. 2 years ago, this friend of mine in Texas, she had asked me, she said she couldn't afford my dogs, but she needed a dog. And she was going to go look at this litter and ask for my help. And I spent a lot of time on the phone telling her what to look for, how to check the angles, how to stack them. and all that, because she's a wonderful person.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to help her.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've been hearing for the last 2 years, this dog's working ability is incredible. I've heard every little thing he's gone through as a puppy and all that. Well, just about a month ago, she sent me some adult pictures. He just turned 2.
Yeah.
And she said, well, what do you think? And I hadn't really, I'd seen some cute puppy pictures, but, you know, and I said, send me more, but make it more stacked so I could really check his body, because it looks really good.
Yeah.
And then she did, and she sent me a video where I could go frame by frame.
Uh-huh.
And I said, oh my God, this dog is perfectly built.
Yeah.
And I knew already he had working ability. So I sent my video to my breeding partner in Virginia, and
Wow.
she got all excited too. And so what we did, another friend here in Texas, she wants to breed to him because, you know, we're all like going, oh my gosh, a real working dog with unknown background that's like so distant from anything in my genetics.
Yeah.
And so she paid for the OFA in exchange for a breeding fee. And by the way, we didn't know he was going to pass his OFA. And if he did, you couldn't breed to him. But we're all willing to put money out to...
Can you tell them what OFA is and define working ability?
I'm
so
sorry.
They know?
Yeah, OFA is Orthopedic Foundation of America. And they take x-rays of the hips, and I also do the shoulders because you want to be sure and have good shoulders. And on the shoulders, it's either pass or fail on the result. But on the hips, there's like, I'd have to look on the side again, it's been so long, but I think there's 7 levels. I think it's 3 levels of passing, 3 levels of failing, and then a borderline, which is basically failing. So fair, good, or excellent, they call passing results. And that has to do with the shape of the bones as they join the rear leg bones as they join the hip. And they have to fit in a certain way and be tight and be shaped just right and all that, because that way they're less likely to have
3 puppies
problems.
out. Is that Dan?
It could be, or it could be John. He's doing some work on that house.
Can we go see these puppies? Because they're...
Yes. Did I answer the question you wanted me
Yes.
to? Okay. I never know what to say.
No, you're great. Hi there. Here, do you want me to take your microphone so you can talk to him?
Oh, yeah. I forget I even have it. Thank goodness.
I do too.
Well, I'm glad I forget.
Hi. You guys having fun? Just for the record, of course he's been to Alveus, just not on stream. Look at all of them. Oh my goodness, this is awesome. There's puppies everywhere. Wow. Oh my god, man down.
Oh, yeah, those are
He's biting me. She's biting me. They're both biting me. Are you getting one? No. No. You guys have probably learned, like, well, I wouldn't want a livestock dog just like roaming around Alveus because we have enclosures and stuff going on. I have talked to Eric about it before. Foxes, wolf dogs, are predators that these dogs would just not accept, like, to exist in the space along with, like, the goats and, like, the other animals and whatnot. So it just doesn't really make sense for Alveus, and they're obviously not house pets. Like, these in the tiny house are a huge no-go. So, no.
I forgot to pet him. They're so...
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're...
Do you want to swap with me so
No,
we can, like,
fine.
hang out? It's biting my wrist. Why would you do that? Yeah, they are really soft. Chat, watch this. Rest in peace.
Hi.
I will. You're so cute.
They're so cute. Stop biting my pants. Put your hands up.
16 by 16, but I had never ever even wanted.
Oh, not the wire. No, give me that. She's out of control.
I will keep a lot of it. I just promise everything. Oh, you found a stick. Oh shit, you found a big stick.
Dude, I really did lose that mic. Magnet, that sucks.
You want to go back afterwards and try and find it?
No, it's okay. It's GG's. I don't know where it fell off. It could have fallen off anywhere. Little babies. I didn't even ask how old they are. Are they like 6 weeks? No, the big ones are 9 months. The one that was trying to get under the shed.
Those are 9 months?
These are like weeks old.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are huge.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's crazy. Oh. Do a stick. This is a good size stick for you. There you go. That's nice. Perfect.
Oh, there you go. Oh,
the reason I overbuilt it is I didn't know.
Oh my god. A fight. Oh no. She's down. Goats. Pinned. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Out. Tap out. These are Anatolian shepherds. Don't go for the mic. It's not for you. Oh no. Oh god. Give it. Give it. It's bad. That's bad. Oh, that's nice. You're a lap dog. They're lap dogs for like 60 days. And then, check this out. You're not going to believe that. Isn't that the best ever?
They originally built where the Irwin Center is.
That's nice.
Part of an old
It's like a cat.
They moved them out to Wilson Street, which was like
Ow.
South Virgin Oakland. And those buildings.
You hear the snapping?
There, that I had to move the striker plates twice a year. But there was some shit.
God. He's an alligator.
He was so quick.
Oh, it wasn't ready.
Oh,
What the heck? She's a little shy.
I called him.
This one is funny. This is one of the girls. It's either going to Ohio or Oklahoma.
When I first met him.
Dude, whoever's someone in Ohio or someone in Oklahoma is in for it.
Oh, yeah.
He would say his name to me, and I'm
Look,
going.
he's got to kill that stick.
Yeah.
Want this leaf?
This is what I'm hearing.
Do you want this stick?
I'm like,
This is the one that Eric is keeping, right? The boy?
That's the darker one.
You're the adventurous one?
Well,
He's cute.
that building was probably.
Dude, she's so cute.
Oh, yeah.
Before the house.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah. And so.
Oh, there was a building there that you pulled down? Yeah, 3 sides.
She didn't like the way he just walked by. Now she's going to kill him. Oh my god.
Puppy's playing in 4K.
Yeah, they're fighting.
Part of the structure is The
Colton?
solid
Yes?
limestone shells, that's why that building
What's going on?
said,
What?
do not go through it.
There are magnets on
Went up there and
both of these.
Yes, there are.
How is that possible?
through.
I don't know.
And then I guess
I've literally had it tucked in here the whole time.
it's not like
It fell off, but the magnet was like on the inside. It somehow fell off with the magnet on it?
You mean sit off the side?
I was shocked.
What?
That's it. Sit off the side?
That is crazy. I mean, that's like so lucky.
Yeah.
That's so sick.
Cool. All right.
I was trying to tell you. How the heck did you know that the magnet was on it still?
Because when you turned to,
I gotta commentate this fight.
because when you turned to show me, I could see the logo on the back of it.
Oh. In here we got male. He doesn't have a name. Some people call him Fancy Boy. He's weighing in at about, what's that? 6 pounds? 7?
6?
8? I don't know. At a number of pounds. And then we have Small But Mighty. The girl, a little smaller. A lean fighting machine. Weighing in at like maybe 4 pounds. She barely made the weigh-in, but she's not here to mess around.
On most things.
Guess what? Okay, I got it.
He's fighting himself. Ding, ding, ding. Fight. Uh-oh. I'm glad I took his mic.
Almost got right out.
Absolutely. He doesn't say a word.
For you.
Yes, that's it.
You're welcome.
Yep.
Come here. You're coming with me. We got places to be, young lady. Puppy abduction.
We're gonna stake where all the drains are coming up today.
Oh.
He's gonna want. He's been too. Which maybe we can. Yeah. Absolutely. Is there any place?
Endicott.
Oh, I know. Is there any place?
Puppy pile. Hey.
Yeah, he gets off.
Oh God.
Well, I want to be able to. If when they're ready to get there, I want to be able to. Him to get the
How floppy their feet are. Guys, look, he's got a weapon.
It's mostly because it's fine. And then come up. That's the big. That's probably.
I mean, that power, that's right there. That's fine. Dan, stuff where he cut that road in back here. All that on the side is probably. We're not gonna need that. Sure, it ain't even gonna look like it's probably, but.
So yeah, you're right. Even the dirt by the house, maybe that would be the best thing.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Because it's right.
It's right there. Yeah.
And it needs to be back.
And we want to take a little more out of there anyway. Of the high touch.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. And so what I wanted is about 3 feet away from the junction.
You want?
And I actually thought at some point I probably need to get some of those rocks I had here
No.
and put on those slopes so that it. So here's what I've seen: it drops it. You have hard rain, and then it rises.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Puppy eyes. You're probably just gonna hear like Eric's voice.
Oh yeah.
They step it down.
Yeah. I love those. Well, it actually.
Keep the erosion.
I got all of this rocks. You know where the trees are going out the back way?
Yeah.
And then I didn't even do that.
Did you hear anything? Barely. Could you guys hear anything? Nice. That's nice. So,
Okay. Bye.
I forget his name already. Are those new? How old are they?
They're 5 weeks old.
5 weeks.
They're almost 6. But they still are 5.
You still are 5, puppy. You still are 5. Are you waking up from eating so much breakfast? Oh, yes, my good girl. Yes. You'd make a great show dog. You're so active.
She is so active. I'm gonna put this back
Oh,
on.
thank you.
So you getting something worked on out here?
Yeah. Cool. Yes.
Hi. She's so funny.
Oh, my man. Now, you notice he's going to have longer hair than the others.
Chew on this.
And for Texas, I'm not sure that's the best. But again, he's so independent. And honestly, when I have these real independent puppies, I'd rather raise them. I know they'll turn out great if I do.
Incoming. Where'd that one come from?
And that was the other boy. I like all 3 boys. What am I saying? But he's got a beautiful, wide, heavy muzzle. I'm gonna love his face. Yeah, it's so pretty. He's so pretty. She goes, I want the attention.
She's funny.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, here's something else I like about him. It's real esoteric. See the bottoms of all his paws. Okay, he's got a teeny little bit of white there.
Yeah.
It will fade completely away and it'll be solid pigmented.
Oh.
The reason you like that on a working Anatolian is the pigment in their skin makes their pads tougher.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, so when they're out running around and stuff, they're less likely to injure their pads.
Crazy. She's crazy.
Of course, the white is pretty on the legs.
That's neat. That makes sense.
Yeah,
So are hers then?
she's probably got quite a bit
Yeah,
of
she's
white.
got a lot of it.
But I mean, it isn't like when you're looking for what you pick. There's so many things. You just, if you're aware of the stuff, then you go, oh, that's a plus on that side. And already you can see their rear angulation is going to be good. They've started.
I wouldn't know, but I believe you.
Yeah, they've started showing it at 5 weeks. So by the time they're 8 weeks, they'll have really excellent. So luckily, John isn't afraid of them.
Colton, you want to show the damage she's doing on that branch?
And I use
Destruction.
branches as chew toys.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're
And the
everywhere.
plus is they break it down faster because they're chewing on it and it turns into organic matter in this bad soil.
This has got to be the cutest age.
Oh, it really is. Starting about 5 weeks, 4.5, 5 weeks, because they start coming out and their personality starts showing up and they're really just learning the world.
Yeah.
Because really they know nothing, you know.
Yeah.
So that's why I like to have them in the really, what I think is the perfect environment for this breed. So they learn it in the way the breed should. And you know, they're completely fearless with these Nubians. Partially because my Nubians have seen many puppies and they're not nervous or they know what they're looking at.
My goats would trample puppies. They're awful, Eric. I don't know why they're like that.
They need Anatolians to whip them in shape.
Yeah, they do. They do.
But,
I mean, the Boers are great. The other ones are.
oh, really? So
Yeah.
it's more, yeah.
They would never. Yeah, they don't do anything.
Yeah, that is the plus about the Boers. They're more laid back than the
Yeah.
Nubians.
Yeah.
The Nubians are, when I put the Nubians in the big pasture, the Boers are there and they don't go that far. And they like stay close to home. You put the Nubians in and they start getting out everywhere.
They'll just leave.
Yeah, it's like, oh, there's better food over here. Now, how do I get there?
I brought one of mine. Well, I brought all 3 on a hike, like a year ago or something, and one of them is so friendly with people. She just loves people. and they were off lead on a hike, and we walked past a family, so they were walking the
and
other
they
way.
stay with you?
The two of mine did, and then the one that loves people just turned around and walked
Said,
with the family.
I'll go
and
with
she was like,
these.
okay, this is also fine. I'll just go home with them.
Gosh.
And I had to go chase her down and bring her back.
Wow.
But they do love hikes. I have one that I bring out by herself. She does great.
Wow.
She's
That's
really
good.
fun.
You got to put a backpack on her.
I
Carry some
know.
water and stuff.
I have backpacks and stuff, but there's just, I hike with her for a couple hours, so there's not really a point.
Yeah.
But if I ever went overnight something, she could carry stuff.
Yeah, at least her water and maybe yours too.
Yeah. Recently, which is not a surprise, I found out that they love mini trampolines.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't know
and
that.
there's always people that are putting them out on the side of the road, to throw away. So I picked up 5 trampolines.
Oh,
and
because
all
they
just have
jump
mini
on
ones.
them and they spring off and they love that
And they love
feeling.
sleeping on them too, just because they're raised.
Yeah.
So they have 5 trampolines, which look like junk, but they love them.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen that one yet. He's got a really short snout.
That is the girl I think
Oh,
Kelly's
girl.
keeping.
Cute.
Pretty sure that's her. And I would
Here
call
she
her,
comes.
I think
Yeah.
all of them are so good, but
She's
I
by
think
the
I would
shed.
call her the pick of the litter.
Really?
Partially because her head is so broad
It's
and her
so
muzzle
broad.
is so broad.
Cool. Do you want to show her? She's probably far
And
away,
so
but-
she'll kind of have a doggy look about her.
Yeah.
Oh, there she is.
Oh.
I got those to come. She's like, one of the things too, she's so much an Anatolian. She is less responsive to me than he is.
No. Oh no.
You got my lens dirty.
Here, puppy.
Sorry.
Here.
How
Here
bad
she
is it?
comes.
I can see it. I don't know if
You
they
may
can
want
see
to
it.
take her coming because it's so
It's
cute.
so cute. Oh, she's so stocky.
She's very, very stocky. She's actually bigger than the males.
Oh, obstacle.
Got sidetracked by a little twig. Come on, baby. Go. Oh, whoa, you
she's so
tripped.
cute.
Yes, you did, baby. Go, I'm not sure I've met you.
She said,
I don't
"What is
think
that
so."
camera? What is that thing?"
Come here, you know me, darling. Oh, yes.
Oh,
And for an
my
Anatolian, that's really good behavior.
Yeah.
Because you don't want them to just run up to people they don't know, and like a lot of puppies will.
Yeah.
So, but then her head is so
She's built
broad,
so
and her
different.
muzzle, look at her muzzle. For a girl,
Yeah.
she almost has a boy head. And it's actually bigger than his head, and I always called him the big-headed boy. Gosh. But here's what I do with those. Then you get this really good, powerful head, and then you breed to a male that's elegant and athletic to try to get the perfect match.
I think that camera is sus. What is that? Wow.
Oh, so I don't let them put their teeth on my hands. Do you want me to show the
Yeah,
technique I use?
Put my thumb in her mouth.
Yeah, I always pet him. Yes,
Uh-huh.
darling. And she kind of already knows. That's why she wasn't doing it more.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I probably can't get her to. Because then I shove if she puts her teeth all over me, I shove my thumb on in her mouth and I hold on just for a second till she realizes she's caught. Then she wants loose. Then I let her loose, but I keep petting her muzzle.
Yeah.
That I don't want her to shy away from my hands. I want her to shy away from putting her mouth on my hands. And it works like a charm. I have these people, they get them and they're not doing that anymore at 8 weeks. And then they call me when they're 10 or 11 weeks and they go, well, they're mouthing on me. And I go,
I got clean chats. The glasses.
She licked the lens.
so he used to have the biggest muzzle. But you can see her muzzle was bigger.
Yeah,
Oh, and
she
now
is.
his muzzle's pretty big too. They just constantly change.
You like phones. You want to chew phones? Here, chew this. Look at that. That's nice. Yeah.
It's really funny because at some point they like sticks as chew toys as good as anything.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll actually even prefer them to actual chew toys.
Yeah.
You've been gnawing on that stick the entire time you've been
Oh, I
sitting
didn't
there.
even realize she
Have
was
you
there.
really, sweetie? Have you really? Yes. Yes, darling. Yes.
And I want them to learn that instead of mouthing me, they get a muzzle massage.
Mm-hmm.
That if they want their teeth on something, do it on sticks.
Mm-hmm.
So earlier I saw he had picked up a duck feather and was holding it, mouthing it.
Cute, yeah.
And it was so long, a lot of it was sticking out. Yildiz came up and she looked at him. And then there was kind of some communication there. And then she just reached down and took it. And he turned loose and she walked away with it.
Because she wanted it?
No, she wanted to show him she could take it.
Oh, I see.
Yes, they're all about who is the dominant dog.
Hey! Whoa, that's a big walk.
Yeah. Oh, did you get a drink of water? Because he has water all over his head. Did you get a drink of water, baby?
Great, thank you so much. They can wait.
So on this will be Kelly's puppy.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure it's this one. And so what I'll do, I'll raise her in this environment, and at some point when they get their place in Oklahoma and retire and move there, then she'll already be well trained as a livestock guardian. I normally charge quite a bit of money for that,
Yeah.
but
But it's Kelly.
it's Kelly, so. And besides that, my advantage is I get to keep the puppy longer.
There you go.
I love that part.
Well, and you know where she's going.
And
You can get
yes,
updates and see her, and that's nice.
Because she's like family to me.
You
So,
want a stick too?
her whole family is like family to me. So, you weren't the only one that was a bit concerned about that fire.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't
Tina
concerned.
drove
I mean,
up, and
really?
And it's right across from her house. So
Yeah, well,
she said
I saw Dan
she
standing
walked
there
out
with
and
it.
looked up, like towering in the air.
Yeah.
So she came right at its height. Yeah. But yeah, he was supervising. He had his tractor over there and everything. So he was going to.
No. Not again.
Uh-oh. She's licking it. Or he, I mean, sorry.
Cat probably loves it. That's all right.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt anything.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Man, she's so cute.
Isn't she adorable?
Cute.
She's so floppy.
So when you're a breeder, pick else they need.
Yeah.
Picking cute is a good thing. Because people like cute.
That's true.
Yeah. Including me. I like cute too. But they still have to have everything they're supposed to
Check out that
have.
vertical. She only wants my fingers, not the stick.
Yeah. She goes, it's difficult to twist my head sideways. It's difficult.
Not a lot of vertical you got. Yet.
So they did a study where they,
Are you kidding? Who's that?
did she burp? They did not let any vertical vision appear to a cat. And I can't remember if they put something on them where anything vertical just disappeared or whatever. But so then when they were like 6 months old, or could have been 3, I don't know how old they were, but then they put them in a room with chairs and they would run into the chairs. They didn't see the legs because it was vertical.
Oh, that is so strange. Vision is strange.
And your brain, here's the thing, your brain develops and you're supposed to encounter certain things at certain ages. And if you fail to encounter those, your brain isn't prepared to notice it.
Right.
And I always think, wow, that really tells us how important it is in giving a rich environment to our children.
Doesn't it? So I try to give you a rich environment.
They're definitely enriched.
Yes.
A fun place to grow up.
And especially in the stuff they need to be aware of. Like, that looks like a jumble of dead trees. To me, that's part of their enrichment.
Oh, absolutely.
Going across all those branches and everything, they use their body differently.
What is a Turkish Boz Shepherd?
They were in the south central part of Turkey. Their breeder, he was Boz Kennels. And he decided his were different. This is my understanding, of course. He decided his were different, and they were a special breed of dog, and he registered them, and you couldn't cross them to anything but Boz dogs.
Chat, look out.
And they've kind of gone by the wayside to some extent now because they had such a small gene pool.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's another champagne thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's a really good way to say it, too, because... And I actually knew a lot of them, like Tina across the street, she got 2 Boz puppies.
Is that what they are?
Well, not the ones she has now.
Oh.
You know those first ones? That was when you were very, very, very first here and they were males.
I don't remember them.
And she wound up having to put both of them down.
Oh my gosh.
Well, one
Did they
of
kill a
them,
bunch of her?
one of them joined in killing an older Great Pyrenees that never did anything wrong to anybody.
Oh, that's
And they
awful.
didn't quite kill her, and she spent a lot of money trying to get her repaired at the vet, and the vets finally said, this is a waste of time. There's Talker. She always lets you know how she feels. And what is it you want? And I have, throughout all of my dogs, I occasionally have a talker who tells me what they're thinking. And some people will get afraid because they'll growl when you come bring the food.
Sure.
It's like they're going, hurry up, I want the food. It's like, I always just go, oh, silly, wait your turn. And then I give it to them.
Yeah.
And also when I feed them, I put the food down. They can't eat it just because I put it down in front of them. I have to say their name and tap the bowl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then they know. You probably do that already.
WrestleMania.
And this is what guardian dogs do. They lay around all day.
Yep.
As long as there's no danger.
They're so quick to get up when they hear something.
Oh my, lightning quick.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and they do spend a lot of time at night guarding because that's when the predators really like to come up here.
Have you ever noticed if they'll see... Do they notice screens? Would they look at a TV screen?
Yeah, they'll watch it because I remember I had their mom in and I would watch TV with the puppies down there and she'd sit there and watch it.
It's so interesting what dogs pick up on.
She
that.
loves the wild, like African safari
Oh, really?
type. Yeah, those really get her
That's cool.
interest. She loves watching predators.
Because I remember noticing that your dogs would bark at birds and chase birds. And my dogs, at least my little one, I don't think he's ever noticed a bird.
Oh, really?
Ever. It's just not something he looks at. I saw a video recently of a dog that was actually really sad, barking at the moon. Like he would just look at the moon and just really wanted it. But my dogs would never look up there and think about that being an object. And then some dogs register screens and some don't.
Well, you know why they bark at birds. In Turkey, they have a large number of raptors and other predatory
big
birds.
vultures, maybe.
So in order to protect from something swooping
You
down
can go over there if you want to film them.
and picking up a baby,
Yeah.
they have to pay attention.
Sure.
Or
Yeah.
something will be nabbed.
Yeah.
And some of them are better at it than others. Some of them are less good at it. But so a lot of dogs don't notice television?
Yeah.
Really? I had no idea.
Mine have never.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think
And you
so.
have television for them.
Oh, yeah. They just don't look at it.
Oh, man, when I had those PBS African stuff, you know, especially when it was lions and cheetahs, man, she would watch complete intensity.
Yeah, a lot of them are saying their dogs don't notice screens either. It's weird.
That is so interesting. I guess because mine do. Oh, the worst thing they do, I have to teach them that their reflection in a mirror is not a dangerous dog.
Yeah. I met a dog that there's a glass door, and at night he just sees himself in the glass door and just freaks out.
Yeah.
which
Oh gosh,
they caught
that's
so
cute.
nice.
Oh, I have to get a picture of that.
That is so cute. Cats love screens, though.
Yeah, they're pretty visual cats. Oh,
my gosh, so
look.
cute.
So she might hassle them a little bit, but she really does love the puppies.
Yeah.
She just wants to figure out how she can interact with them. And she doesn't realize she's as big as she is. Let's take a close-up of that.
That's VODs on the ground there?
Yes, with Kelly's girl. Partially what makes it so hard to pick is I don't know if you can see, but see how consistent their conformation is? Each puppy, they're very, very consistent. And that is because of 40 years of selective breeding, I think. And also their mother's spectacular, and so was the dad.
She
But I could
also,
be
I
thirsty.
love Tavir's personality too.
It's, yes.
She's so sweet.
And actually, remember how sweet Yenis was?
Yes.
Well, Gazi is maybe even sweeter.
Oh, really?
And so that's the parents. So that's part of why these puppies are so endearing. And I think they could fit in most any home
Yeah.
and do pretty well.
Ow.
Your teeth are too sharp, honey.
That's my ankle.
So cute. Hey, what are you doing? Whoa.
And in a way, I think it's really good for these puppies to have people they don't know
Oh, yeah.
interacting with them. It'll make it easier later when they start feeling more guardy. To say, well,
Hi. Whoa. 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 Whoa.
you know, they have such a happy, life is wonderful feeling right now.
Puppies are so funny, though.
I know, they're so, and you know, I love seeing them this way.
When do they start barking at things?
The earliest I ever had puppies bark at stuff was 5 weeks.
Oh, wow.
That was
Okay.
a long time ago, and my original dogs that were closer to Turkey. And what they started barking at is when they heard coyotes howl at night.
Oh, yeah.
All the puppies would get stiff and look in that direction and bark, bark, bark. And they don't do that as much. Now these puppies tend to say, all these adults will take care of it. But they are aware of the different sounds.
Yeah.
And sometimes they start doing it at 8 weeks and 3 months. And, you know, I mean, it just depends on the different genetics.
He's so cute. Those teeth. Wow.
Yeah. And all this, that's so good for their teeth.
Yeah, that's a
coming
really
out.
good branch,
Yeah,
huh?
works so good. And like, I really don't have a choice anyway because there's branches all over the pasture, so. Good
Someone
thing.
said, did he actually get his dogs from Turkey? Where'd you get your first dog?
My first dog out of his out of the, I guess it was the grandparents, 7 of them were imported from Turkey, and the 8th one was out of a dog imported from Turkey.
Okay.
And but back then you could hardly get them if they weren't from Turkey. I mean, that was in 1985, and there really weren't very many available.
Yeah.
And so,
1985. Right.
yeah.
They're Anatolian shepherds, chat. Do you guys have other questions? I've been ignoring.
That is such an ideal setup. I have never changed it once I first discovered it. It's
pretty
like,
nice.
yeah, it works perfectly. even the goats understand. They'll sometimes come in, but they've never crossed that upside down supplement tub barrier.
Someone asked if there's any difference in working ability between the males and females.
There is subtle, and of course, different. It's more different if, depending on the different lines you get from. The people that haven't been testing for working ability, male or female, they're probably not going to be that good. And but even with the same, like these boys, here's what I've observed. So out of all these, the boys will tend to be, in a way, laid back and sweet until they're not, and then they're far more aggressive. And I don't like to sell to somebody who's never owned an Anatolian before a male.
Okay.
Because you have so much more power in the male.
Yeah.
And let's see if you can work with a female first and get along with a female. Because if you can't do it with a female, you definitely would fail with a male.
Yeah. This one's a female.
And she's a female.
She's vicious.
She's a female, and she's all aggressive and mean. Ooh, such a mean baby. Such a mean little baby. Such a mean little girl. Oh.
Someone asked if you've been farming all your life.
I grew up on 3 sections in Colorado. And then my dad got tired of no rain and no crops. And then we moved to a irrigated farm in Colorado. And then at 11, I moved to Vernon. We only had 20 acres, but we always had horses my entire life from before I was born. We always had horses. And I have had horses my entire life. I still have 2. They're 28 and 25 now. And so they're getting old just like me. And, you know, when I was little, we had all kinds of animals, sheep and pigs, and always pigs, and cows. And I've always loved animals. I always thought they were fabulous. Then I went to college, and I got out, and I came to Austin, and I lived in town for a few years. I hated living in town. It's like, what do people do in town?
Oh, I feel the same way.
That's how I felt anyway. Because I would actually go to a mall and walk around it just to do something and move.
Yeah.
And then I said, okay, I can't stand this. So I sold my house, and I looked for some property in the country. And it was just 3 acres and a little house, which I redid. And then I made enough money on the house. I actually just bought some property, and, you know, then I eventually, I was living on that property in '85 when I got my first. And I had a whole bunch of sheep and stuff.
Didn't you start with Dobermans or something?
A neighbor down the road when I was in high school had a Doberman, and I loved going by there, and I would take an hour to walk by his yard
Just to hang
just
out
to
with him?
watch the dog.
Yeah.
I thought it was the most beautiful dog ever. And so when I was in town, to give me something to do, I had Dobermans, and I had to train like 3 of them on obedience. One didn't, it was too easy. I needed to spend more time training. And so I had 3 dogs, and I used to score, like out of a 200 score, if I scored less than 197, I felt like I had a bad day. And one time in the best I ever did, I went to a show in Corpus. There were about 500 obedience dogs.
Yeah.
And my Doberman and we were the 2nd high scoring team in the show.
Oh, wow.
I never
Cool.
did that good, any other time, but
Yeah.
I did good. that was really good. And so I remember that one. He was a wonderful dog. And then when I moved to the country with him, I had to build a 200-foot run with a top on it.
Yeah.
He was absolutely
jump out?
dangerous to my animals.
Oh.
He never saw a chicken, a duck, a goat, a sheep that he didn't want to chase and
Right.
run down and kill. And so I couldn't let him loose. Now, if he was doing it and I was there, I could say sit, and he'd be in the middle of going after him, and he'd immediately sit. He was so obedient.
Yeah.
And I got his CD, CDX, and his utility degree. So
I don't know what
thought,
those are.
oh, they're degrees of obedience levels.
okay.
CD's the lowest, then CDX means you did a little bit more. And utility, that's where you go out and they run down there and jump over stuff. And, and then you throw out some barbells and they have to know which one had your scent on it and only pick that one up and bring it back. And he was really smart. He did all that really great. But he also loved chasing animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
Can't have it in the
not
country.
really something you can train, huh? It's
No.
just a breed thing.
And he eventually died at 7, which was the average lifespan of a
so sad,
Doberman,
yeah.
which is too young. So then I said, okay, what am I going to do? And I actually got a border collie, which I got one that was so highly bred up that she had to be locked up if she wasn't being used. She would not stop herding, and they couldn't eat while she was herding them,
Yeah.
or even drink water. She kept moving them here and there. I eventually let her go to my brother-in-law who had Kelpies, and he actually worked with herding dogs. So he thought she was the best dog ever, and she was good. Then,
Kelpies are, what do they look like?
They're little-
like little shepherd things.
they're little, but they're short hair,
Yeah.
and they are cute. They're cute as a button, but they're small. You can't. And he used them to move cattle.
Oh wow.
What he would do, I forgot what his percentage was, but if you out in West Texas, these cows get in, like, there's all this acreage and there's all these mesquite trees, and they get stuck back in. Well, they're hiding in the mesquite trees, and then they don't know how many cows they really have because they
Yeah.
haven't really counted them.
Yeah.
So he would go out there, send his dogs, round up all the cows in those mesquite trees that were so thick people couldn't go through.
Yeah.
And so I forgot what his percentage was, but it was a pretty good percent of the cows he brought out.
Yeah.
And so he made a lot of money because, all he had to do is get them out. Now, the farmer was happy because there were cows he couldn't have sold otherwise. So anyway, and he was a ranch hand on the Spade Ranch.
Yeah.
But he did that in his part-time.
It's not, what's it called? Not border collies, but it starts with an M and they look like border collies, but they have shorter hair. It's like a Chat, do you know what I'm talking about?
You're not talking about a color Merle.
No, a different breed. It's and when I rode, I told you I brought my horse to the Rockies, and we rode in the Rockies, and we were moving cows around, and there's just places that horses could not go, and the dogs could. Not a Malinois. No. Not a Malamute. No. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, I don't know.
Livestock.
But the reason I got my first Anatolian is I moved to that 40 acres I bought, and I'd been there several months and nothing, and then all of a sudden the coyotes discovered me, and in 2 weeks I lost... What is it?
McNab.
McNab. I never heard of them.
They don't really look like border collies. I'm not sure why I said that. I mean, they're black and white. That's probably
I
why
see why you said that.
Yeah.
Actually, some border collies have short hair like that.
Oh, yeah. Well,
So I see why you said it.
Yeah,
I
they're
just
awesome.
never heard of that breed.
they use them for working cows.
But anyway, I lost 8 adult ewes in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I only had like 40, and you do the math, it's not going to last that long.
Yeah.
And I had about 40 goats. And so I had to pin them all up in the barn while I went to work. And I was reading an article in a goat magazine about this new breed of dogs.
Yeah.
And I said, that is exactly what I need. So I called the lady and asked her if there was somebody that had any puppies. And she said, well, actually, are you close to Marble Falls, Texas? And I go, yep, it's about 2 hours from me, from where I lived then. And so I called the lady, and she had some 7-week-old puppies. And she sold them at 7 weeks. I don't sell mine until they're at least 8. But so I drove over and I looked in the pen. She said they were in, and I said, I don't see any puppies in here. And she said, look closer. And every puppy had gotten its own little goat, and these were Angora goats, so they have longer hair. And they had snuggled under the hair, and they didn't
cute.
join together. They only were with one goat, one puppy.
Wow.
And they were hiding under the Angora hair, kind of. And I go, now that is a different kind of dog.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
Yeah. And she told me that the male that was the dad of these puppies, his name was King, and he was the best. I talked to her many years later. He was the best working Anatolian male she had ever owned, which made me feel good, and I believed it because my male was so exceptional. When I talked to other people, I realized the working ability in their dogs wasn't as good. Now, his body could have used some help. It wasn't a show body. So...
But that's how it started. Huh?
But I bought a female I paid 3 times the going rate for just to get that quality of body. And that was my first cross. Well, I realized how valuable these dogs are.
Yeah.
I mean...
Pretty special.
They are. But not everyone should own an Anatolian.
Yeah. Yeah.
Despite how easy and sweet and laid back these seem, they have the other side to them.
Have you seen that? Well, maybe, I don't know how much you're on social media, but...
Zero.
Sure, okay, nice. Perfect.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Well, you know, Malinois, Belgian Malinois,
Yeah, sure.
they've gotten seemingly really popular.
Yes, I know,
online,
and I can't imagine
which
people want them.
They're
very difficult.
I mean, a lot of people want them.
They're
and then-
beautiful.
yeah, and they're just
But they're
so
difficult.
much.
Yeah.
Like, it's not really a
Regular
pet dog at
people
all.
would have to really work
Yeah.
to get a dog like that under control.
Yeah.
And they're like 180 degrees different from an Anatolian.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool dogs, but
Yeah,
not
yeah. They're
pet dogs.
more like my Dobermans were. One of the things I love about Anatolians is, so my Dobermans, if something upset them, it could be hours later before they calm down enough to quit going berserk about everything. But a lady that I sold one to in California to guard her geese, she actually thought, she told me later, that I had ripped her off because the dog was so sweet she couldn't ever imagine him protecting anything.
I thought that about Chibuk when I first met her.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, golly.
We'll have
But-
to run up and swap batteries real quick.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah, better view.
Good luck, chat. Hopefully
Yeah, hopefully they'll
he
stay
doesn't wake
asleep.
up. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
I'm at a cattle dog probably, at that carnivorous plant store, and they're herding dogs, right? So she's really just hyperactive, just barking all the time, wants to be chasing something.
Right.
And she came in with us to this greenhouse, and they have a bunch of pitcher plants that are hanging from the greenhouse, and she looked at all of them like a ball, and she was just scream barking at them.
Really?
She just wanted to chase something, I think, and she wanted to play with them. But she was running through the greenhouse with her head on a vertical, just like looking up at them, freaking out.
Wow.
It's crazy. Because again, my little dog, I mean, he would never even consider looking at them.
Yeah. Wow.
It's crazy how different they can be.
Well, on the story about the how different Anatolians are.
Yeah.
So she called me one morning really early, and I mean, based on programs where people were doing drugs, I would have thought she had done cocaine or something. I have no idea otherwise. But anyway, she was talking 90 miles a minute. She was so excited. And she goes, I was so wrong about him. Oh, my God. And the story she told, she said she heard her other 2 dogs barking, and then she told me, she said, I said to myself, oh, I wasted money on that Anatolian. And so then she jumped up and put some slippers on, and she was in her robe, and she ran out there to see what was happening. But she knew it was some coyotes. She was surrounded by national forest, and they would come down and kill her geese. That's why she got the Anatolian.
Yeah.
And so she had her flashlight, and she said she had it's 10 acres, and she had an orange grove. She was running through the orange trees, trying to follow the sound. And in the corner were her 2 little border collie type dogs barking, and they had a younger coyote cornered.
Oh.
And then and they were all excited, but they didn't want to get too close to it. And then she looked over because she's like, okay, where is he? And she looked over, and there he was. And the coyote, behind the coyote was a... So that's, you asked about the barking? Oh,
Yeah.
I want a video of that. I missed the really good barking.
I'm cameramanning. Wait,
So
wait,
the
camera-
protection has already begun, and guess who that is?
Kelly's.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow, that was crazy.
Yep, it's Kelly's puppy, the protector. Okay, so I told you some of them start at 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
there it
no
is.
kidding.
5 weeks.
That was impressive. I know you didn't see it, okay? I'm not a cameraman. I couldn't pick it up. Wow, that was crazy.
All right.
She said, who is that guy?
So remember just a few minutes ago I said, yes, they seem laid back and sweet, but they have another side to them.
I've never seen a puppy that age react
that's
like
why
that to
I
a
like
person.
her.
Yeah.
Because that's what you want them to be protective. You buy them for protection.
Yeah.
And if they don't have that protective nature, you know, well, why did you buy an Anatolian?
Right, yeah.
That's my theory.
So interesting, too, that they're all just laying there and she's the only one that popped up.
Can I take stream down for a sec?
Yeah, guys, don't panic. Switching the battery. Wow.
That's wonderful. I'm going to have to send that to Kelly.
Yeah.
And I'll tell her she missed a real serious bark.
Fuck, you actually got me.
Loser. That's 1-to-1, baby.
I didn't expect
I'm
you
sorry. That's 2-to-1.
It's 1-to-1.
It's 1-to-1. That's crazy. I didn't get the point for breaking your fucking ankles. I hate pickleball.
Goofy.
First, and I was going to keep a girl. I guarantee you wouldn't get her.
She's pretty cool.
But you know, Case Jr.'s the only male I have now. I mean, because Tatlum, he's really
He's
Kelly's,
leaving.
and as soon as Toot passes away, he's leaving. Or if they move to Oklahoma.
I've never thought about that. Yeah, because I get, yeah.
Well, I used to have 7 males, but I also had 23 females at the same time.
Wow.
Talk about
I don't know why I've
and
never thought about that.
This property,
Yeah.
I even have a couple more pastures than I did then. I would have like 7 of them in the same pasture. And every once in a while, it was usually the female. I always kept the males separate.
Yeah.
You never could put males together. But every once in a while, a female would go berserk and start hating another female that they'd gotten along with, but they just decided they didn't like each other. And I had to immediately repasture one of them.
Yeah.
Because once they had a fight and hated each other, they never, ever again got along.
Oh, we got distracted. The coyote story.
Oh, yes, that's right. Okay, sorry. So anyway, so she looks over with her flashlight.
Yeah.
And so behind the coyote was her brand new fence the coyotes didn't know she had just put in. And it was too tall for the coyote to get over.
Okay.
And then it was behind one of the orange trees. And then on the other side of the orange trees was Bo, the Anatolian. And he was going left, right, pause. Left, right, pause. And he did the same exact movements over and over. And she said he'd probably been doing them before she got there. And she actually was getting bored watching. I was like, okay, what's happening? And I've seen them do this with snakes. But then what he did is, instead of left, right, pause, he didn't pause. So the coyote thought he was going to pause, so the coyote moved, but he was there too, on the same side of the tree. And he knew it because he leaped forward after the coyote. And this may sound really cruel, but this is what you have to do to protect your animals. He reached forward and grabbed the coyote by the back, and then the coyote's back legs no longer worked. And then he immediately whirled, ran over, blasted through her 2 dogs that were barking, and just killed the smaller coyote.
Yeah.
And then he twirled and ran back to the other coyote and killed him.
Oh my gosh.
Because, of course, the coyotes were there to get the geese. And
Right.
the lady loved her geese. Like, one of them was 15 years old. They all had names.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, she didn't want her geese killed by coyotes.
Mm-hmm.
And so, anyway, the thing that she told me, and I know this is true. I've seen it many times with my dogs. Now, so he went through a very emotional deal. And she said her other dogs barked for hours. They couldn't calm down.
Yeah.
Once the problem was eliminated, he just calmly turned around, walked
Laid
over,
down.
sauntered over to her, put his head under her hand like he did every morning so she'd pet his head, and just was very sweet, laid back, completely, all of his emotion was gone.
Yeah.
And that's what you want in a real good working Anatolian. They do the job.
Where was that again?
This was in California.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
hi.
Oh, neat.
Oh,
okay.
hi. Yeah. She was a really nice person.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked her. I stayed there for 3 days.
Yeah.
I was selling her a 4-year-old male, and I told her, I said, I will not leave him with you if I don't believe it's going to work.
Right.
And you have to show me you can interact with this dog properly,
Yeah.
or I'm taking him home. And so I stayed there 3 days to see. She actually was really good with him, and she did love the sweet part of him,
Right.
you know. But she was really surprised when she saw the other side, how they can just flip into protection.
He's growling in his sleep.
Growling in his sleep.
So anyway,
Vorozan, thank you.
there's a ton of protection stories that I know that.
He's got his tongue out.
Little tongue.
Wonder where the sixth one is. Oh, there it is. Under
Sleeping.
the building, I think. I think that's it. Be a part of an adult dog. So, isn't it weird that I can't get them to eat anymore? Like, man,
They're pretty content, it looks like.
yeah, they really are. And I guess they got used to that really cool weather.
Yeah.
So now this is like a heat wave for them.
Yeah.
Like,
I was just
laying
about to say, I mean, it's a beautiful day, especially in the shade.
Yeah.
It feels
yeah.
so nice right
Yeah.
now.
And the soil is moist, so that's why I think they'll like laying there.
Yeah.
Because on that hay, it's insulating. It warms them up.
Yeah. It's
But
cute.
yeah.
Cute. Wow.
Oh, I know where the. No, she came back. That's her, right? Kelly. In the middle?
The middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. I wish you guys saw that. I mean, it was exactly what happens when it's an adult dog. It was just a little puppy.
Yeah.
Like, she was sitting up and she was looking at him when he walked in, and I was surprised that she looked kind of agitated. And then she just stood up and started barking at him.
Get back.
She's,
We don't
I mean,
know you.
isn't that
Stay
crazy
away.
to see a puppy that size
Yeah, already.
bark
kinda
at you
have
like
that
an adult
instinct.
dog?
This
Yeah.
is why not everybody should own them.
Yeah.
You've got to react right toward them when they're behaving that way. You want them to behave that way, but you want a controlled behavior. Like when Koss did not bite the guy as she went past him. She just decided, though, that that club he had slung over his shoulder had to go, and she hit the back of his knee, bending it, and he threw. How she knew hitting the back of his knee would make him bend and throw it down on the ground, I have no idea.
Yeah.
But somehow they seem to know stuff like that, even at a young age.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And if you're not careful, I tell everybody, never work on aggression with this breed. It's there waiting
Work
to come
on
out
aggression.
if needed.
Like, encourage it?
Yeah, do not encourage. I encourage backing off from aggression, being calm, being sweet, everything's good. You know, because I have never in 40 years
No.
ever had to ask for aggression. It always came when it was
Right.
necessary.
Yeah. I guess that's what they do a lot of that training with the Malinois, huh? The bite training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, a story on the bite training. I read this article, and I talked to some people who also had done something similar and agreed. People should never do bite training with Anatolians because their brains work differently. The Malinois, they sort of see the game part of it, and they'll grab the arm, But this guy he was one of those people that wears that suit, and he wrote the story, and he said never, ever, ever an Anatolian ever do the bite training, because he said he couldn't get the Anatolian to attack him no matter what they did. Why? I knew why instantly. He didn't need to tell me. The Anatolian said, you're not actually a threat.
There's no reason
you're just
to.
pretending to be a threat.
Sure.
So he became a threat to the owner for real, to get the dog to attack.
Yeah.
Well, that was a mistake. Once he actually showed he could be a threat to the owner, the dog attacked, and he said they had trouble dragging the dog off of him.
Yeah.
And he said the dog wasn't wanting to play with his arm. The dog was wanting to get him because he dared hurt the owner.
Yeah.
And he said it went after two vulnerable places, I guess, in that suit, his throat and his groin. And those are places you have lots of good, big arteries.
Yeah.
And you could die easily.
Ugh.
And so, yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah, he said nobody, because of the way they think, they won't attack if it's not a real threat. They go, oh, what are you doing? You're being silly. It's like no big deal. But once he did something directly with the owner that was a threat, then the dog was, I'm not having any of that.
Yeah.
So, again, I tell people, do not work on aggression. Work on saying, it's okay, it's good, we like this person. You know?
Yeah. What are the other popular breeds for livestock guardians? There's Great Pyrenees.
Yeah,
and
but
there's-
I don't like Great Pyrenees because we've bred them in America so long, they're not really good, because the majority of calls I get from people who are unsatisfied with their guardian breed are the Great Pyrenees people who really want them to guard their animals.
Yeah.
And the two things they say are...
They run away.
They run away, absolutely. I'm tired of driving 5 miles from my house to go pick up my dog, who should be here guarding my animals. And then the other thing is they'll bark. They're very good at barking. But then if the predator is actually really aggressive, they just fade back like, oh, well, okay. I warned you, but hey, you can go ahead.
Yeah. I also always wondered about their coats, because
And in Texas, that is a
Okay.
real problem. Now,
Yeah.
if it were up in, you know,
Alaska.
North Dakota,
Sure,
Alaska,
sure.
yeah, that
Might be nice.
wouldn't be a problem. But
I just
yeah.
always, every time I see a Great Pyrenees that lives outside, it's just got so many mats and burrs and stuff, and I just feel like it can't be a good
Yeah,
setup. But
yeah, and I feel sorry. And I know a lot of people will shave it off, but it's bizarre because they are working
yeah.
guardians. When you shave a Pyrenees off, instead of a big fluffy fat dog, you have a dog that really has a body shape of an Anatolian.
I've never thought about that.
Yeah, their
Yeah.
body shape is very
They look
similar.
huge. Yeah.
But yeah, so, and then the breed I've heard the most good about that seems to, although I'm totally into Anatolians, but is the Maremma.
I never heard of that.
Well, for some reason, when I talk to people that like their non-Anatolian, it more often tends to be a Maremma. And I go, well, I guess we haven't ruined them yet.
I'm gonna look it up. Oh, someone just asked about that. Maremma. Sheepdog. Oh, it kind of looks like a Great Pyrenees.
Yes, it looks similar, but I think maybe because they weren't as popular and haven't been bred as much here, everything is the breeding choices. And if you're going to have them, they need to be bred correctly. Because they have certain inhibitions, Anatolians do. Like, for instance, Koss chose to hit the back of his knee with her shoulder as opposed to biting.
Yeah.
And then instead of going after him, she got by me and threatened him, but she didn't go bite him. So those are inhibitions they have built into their genetic makeup. And I like the inhibitions that they have. It keeps them safer.
Is your favorite breed of dog outside of Anatolians a Doberman?
Actually, I like little dogs.
Yeah? Like Jet?
Well, I wouldn't get another border terrier because you have to strip that coat and it hurts them.
Yeah.
And I cannot stand hurting a dog I love. And yet
Yeah.
I was told that if you didn't strip them, they get all kinds of infections in their skin and this and that.
Yeah.
So for years, I'd do it anyway, and I'd take 3 days, and I'd tell him how sorry I was as I was doing it. And finally, I just couldn't keep doing it. It was so horrible. And so he's a wonderful dog, and this wonderful nature, but the fact you have to strip that breed is like, okay, that's out. Weirdly enough, my niece has I think it's a mix of a Shih Tzu and something else.
Yeah.
And it is so sweet, and it's just so cute.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I love little dogs. I'm with you.
Yeah, I mean,
think they're
it's
fine.
adorable, and you can pick them up easy. They're like having a puppy their whole life.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So I love puppies, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Terriers.
So very Anatolian, laying around sleeping. All of them are.
Yeah. Well, thank you for letting us come out and see them. I meant to come see them before. When we talked, I just totally forgot you had them.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
so cute.
And I told you that Chibuk. I already have somebody who told me he wants on the list for Chibuk puppies.
I didn't know that. So are you going to breed Chibuk and Ducat?
Okay, what I'm going to try to do with Ducat, I'm trying to send her back. I co-own her with my breeding partner in Virginia.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to send her back to her so she can get her championship, and then I'll let her breed her.
Okay.
I put so much time in on my puppies and energy and everything, and each year it's harder with the way my body's going. And it's like, I don't even know if I can do a Chibuk litter. I mean, that came out of the blue a few days ago. It's like, I really want a Chibuk puppy. He has a Chibuk litter mate. And so he said, if I can't get a puppy out of my boy, I would like his sister's puppy to be with him, you know.
She is an awesome dog.
She is pretty. And
It would be really cool.
For a home companion Anatolian, actually that personality is great.
Oh, yeah.
Because they like people, they're sweet. But I always tell people, don't ever forget they're an Anatolian. And what you saw that little puppy do is always underneath all that sweet happiness.
Yeah.
If they think it's something is dangerous. And the other thing about them, I believe they view the entire world as threat or no threat. And that's how they see everything.
Yeah.
But now the nice thing about Chibuk is she's really good at going, it's not a threat. I don't have to be worried. But I have seen when she sees it's a threat, and she is far aggressive, more than some of my dogs.
Yeah.
As sweet as she is.
Who would you breed her with? Do you know?
It's going to be really hard to pick. I'm kind of thinking I'm going to overwork that male I found because he
it's nice that he's outside of.
Yeah, he's outside of
line.
everything I
Yeah.
have, and everything I have is actually kind of all related to each other one way or another.
Yeah.
So I might do that, but I also have to really study his body very, very carefully to be sure I'm not blending too much of things I don't want to be multiplied. And now she's a bit on the smaller side. She is real tucked up, which is good. I like that. But she's what I call an elegant Anatolian. And elegant Anatolians are very agile and fast. And I usually like to cross an elegant structure with a powerful, strong, wide-bodied, musculature, big bone dog to get the middle. And he's right now at 2, he seems a bit more like her. So normally I wouldn't, but it was really weird. I showed somebody his picture and they said, oh wow, he's really stocky. I go, he is? But I've had some really massively muscular dogs, so.
So when are these guys going to leave?
About 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks from now. Oh, good timing.
I know.
I'm happy I got to see them.
Yeah, really good timing. Except, oh God, I hate it. Now I'll keep 2 of them.
Yeah.
That makes me feel better, but I remember one year I had 10 puppies and I just kept 9 of them.
Yeah.
I couldn't let any of them go. I wanted
so
all
funny.
of them.
That's
I even felt bad about the one I let go. It's like, why'd I let that one go? But yeah, that's how you wind up with 30 Anatolian adults.
Yep. Yep.
So,
Oh my gosh, this tongue is so
I
funny.
know.
Has he got his tongue out?
Yes.
That's the one I'm thinking about keeping.
Right, yeah, he's very
The
cute.
boy.
All right.
Hey, bud, that'll dry your tongue out.
That's what they say, huh? gonna
Maybe
get
he's
stuck
in a
that
good
way.
mood and he's imagining licking something sweetly. Because look how it kind of moves like he's a little tiny lick. I think he's dreaming of licking something.
He's so cute.
He's so sweet.
Oh, that's funny. All right. Okay.
Well,
Well-
were there any final questions?
Do you guys have any final questions before I enter? I didn't realize it had been 3 hours.
You've been here a while.
I know. It's so nice out.
It is such a pleasant day. Yeah. Gosh, that tongue. He's dreaming of something that involves his tongue. Look at it. Oh my gosh.
They're just all saying thank you. They love listening to you talk.
Well, gosh, that is so nice. They're all so nice.
They are. Yeah, it's just all thank you. So there's one question. Oh, are the older dogs out as well? Yeah, there's how many in here? 3?
I have 4.
4 older dogs
I have
in here?
the mother,
Uh-huh.
an aunt that's 3 years old, and 2 9-month-old puppies.
Got it.
I like to have an enriched environment so they learn dog socialization and language.
Yeah.
That's why I like to do. Very few breeders do. And especially put a male with their puppies.
Yeah.
Very few breeders do that. My theory is if they can't be trusted with puppies, how can I trust them with baby goats? So why
Yeah.
use that genetic? It's just, I do so many little things to test my dogs that, you know, I keep wanting better dogs.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, I'll end the live stream. Start the raid. I will be live again on Wednesday. We're going to have our animals at the sanctuary pick their Super Bowl winners on Wednesday.
All right.
So that'll be interesting.
Okay.
I'll be live on Wednesday. The animals are going to pick their Super Bowl winners. They're all saying thank you. They're all saying goodbye. Okay.
Goodbye.
Bye, guys. Hope you had fun. See you later.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. And I'll take your mic too from me. Thank you so much. It's so fun.
Well, good. I